Welcome to issue 200.5 of Critical Encounters, a podcast about Marvel Champions, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games.
Here we take a good look at that most critical piece of the game, the encounter sets.
We'll discuss those poorly understood characters, unfairly labeled villains, and their various plans to shape humanity and benefit the planet, as well as those so-called heroes intent on thwarting them.
I am one of your hosts, Mike, and joining me tonight is ad-lib intro of Stephen Daniel.
You moose.
No,
because that would have mean like Moose wouldn't have even read the script.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Right.
Well, welcome back, loyal listeners.
Cheeky.
Yeah. We are starting our second half of the 200th episode.
Ooh.
Yeah. We are going to move on to part 6 of our 13-part plan here.
Oh, my God. We're not even halfway through?
No, we're about to be, because
Okay.
part 6 is a little interview I did with community member, patron, contest winner, player of the game, Mark T. So him and I sat down and we just chatted about the state of the game and things we liked and his point of view. And, here it is. All right, well, I'm here with Mark T, one of our loyal minions, all the way from Australia. Hi, Mark. How's it going?
Hey, Steve. Doing very well. Pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on. So let's get to know you a little bit, and then we'll kind of get to the meat of why we have you on. So, Mark, how long have you been playing Marvel Champions?
Almost since the beginning. I'm fairly active on the board game geek groups, the solo groups on there, and Marvel Champions sort of made a big splash when it first got released, so I jumped on board soon after it started and been playing solo ever since. Okay.
You said you've been playing solo ever since. Do you have any groups down there? You get to play any multiplayers?
Nah, no multiplayer for me.
Okay.
I'm quite happy to just do it on my own anyway.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I have to say this, if the kangaroos and the koalas play with you or not.
No, I keep them out of my yard. They make a mess with the droppings.
Okay. All right, so you've been playing since the beginning. Are you a Marvel fan? Like, are you a comic reader, or like, did you get into Marvel from the movies? What's your Marvel in general history?
I have no history at all with the comics. Comics aren't really a big thing around here. I don't think I've ever met anyone who reads comics like on a regular down this way. It's just not something that's ever sort of taken off. But I love the movies. I've been watching them for years and really like them. For a long time, I was just watching them in chronological order, one after the other, over and over. So a big fan of the movies.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people came into Marvel from the movies, the MCU, or even before that, depending on your age, and then maybe discovered some of the comics after the fact. So that's cool.
One of the things I like about the game is that it explores bits of Marvel that aren't in the movies. Like, I learn a whole bunch of sort of strange and unusual things about what they've done in Marvel comics over the years, which really interests me, but I never sort of had any exposure to it because it hasn't made the MCU.
Yeah, we got a lot of characters that, like, at least on our show, we're like, all right, who's this guy? Who's this person? Yeah.
All the time I look at these cards and go, okay, no idea who that is, but let's do a bit of background research and go from there.
Yeah. Well, eventually we'll talk about them on our show if they're a villain, right? Because we don't care about those good guy cards.
Give me the good villains.
Yeah. Speaking of heroes, in quotes, do you have a hero you like to play, and then maybe a hero you like to watch lose a lot?
One I like to watch lose a lot is I'm with Daniel on this one. I can't stand Iron Man. The arrogance just grinds my gears. So I rarely play him, and I'm very happy to see him get smoked. He's bad anyway, like a hand size of one. What are you doing?
Right, yeah.
As for ones I like to play, I'm pretty happy just sort of jumping between things. I've played a ton of Hawkeye over the years. I think most of the years he's not very strong and he's pretty easy to lose with. Like all you need is an undefended attack and he's dead. But it is high risk, high reward.
You recently won some contests and you're a patron, and we want to just have you on because we're going to talk on this episode a little bit about this, and we wanted to see what you guys have to say out there in the community. So let's talk about your top 3 favorite villains now, or villain scenarios. And favorite can mean anything, right? Maybe you like a hard challenge, maybe you like the flavor of it. Let's start down at your number 3 favorite villain.
All right. So my number 3 favorite villain is Spiral. So this one came in the Mojo pack recently. Your episodes from when we're recording, they're just sort of getting into the Mojo stuff.
Yep.
And I love Spiral because he whacks you really hard at the end of the game. I like the flavour of sort of going through the different shows, and you can sort of have a bit of decision making about whether you want to take your damage to be able to remove threat from the search for Spiral side scheme. I really like the fact that you can really bone yourself by doing that. I really like the way that you can rush your way through those shows and then you get near to the end of the game and realise that you've got no life left. Spiral's holding both of her swords and you're getting hit for 9 or 10 damage. And all of a sudden it's game over.
Yeah, those swords are pretty brutal.
Yeah, they are. They're tough.
Yeah, Spiral's a great one. We haven't talked about Spiral, but I've played it a bunch. And yeah, that's a fun one. And a little different than some of the other ones.
I think everything in the Mojo pack is excellent. Like, it's such a good mix of things. Like, you've got Magog that punishes you if you don't defend well, and Mojo throws on the threat. Spiral does a bit of everything. It's such a cool pack. Very good.
How about number 2? Your number 2 favorite villain scenario?
My number 2 favorite is a recent one. This is Mr. Sinister. So he's in the new Next Evolution box. It's probably not new for everyone else, but for me, it's only just arrived. So I played this only a bunch of times so far, and as soon as I played it, I thought, oh, that's just fantastic. So his big gimmick is that when he's setting himself up, he gains traits throughout the game, and the worse you're doing, the more traits he's going to get, and the more traits he gets, the more he whacks you. So a bit similar to Spiral in that he's sort of building throughout the scenario. I think it's just a really clever way of making the villain get stronger. So I remember you guys had an episode where you discussed how you could possibly make a villain power up throughout the game. I think Mr. Sinister does that with these traits. Yeah, so very cleverly done and just a lot of fun to get to the table.
Yeah, that's cool because he is a little different every game as well based on which set he starts with, right? He could have flight or telekinesis or super strength. So every game can start off a little different and end a little different as he advances.
And you don't have a say in what happens either. Like like say he's got that retaliate on him, and you're playing with Colossus. Well, too bad. Like you can't like spend a couple of resources and get rid of it. No, he's got that for the game. It's very, very funny.
Yeah, that's fun. I find if the heroes should sit around and let him advance a few times so he can get all his toys out. That's the best kind of game for him. So,
what could go wrong?
Yeah. All right, Spiral, Mr. Sinister, and how about number 1?
Number 1 is a throwback. So number 1, my favourite to go back to and play again and again is Escape the Museum with the Collector. So this is Galaxy's Most Wanted. And it's a little bit nostalgia for me because this is just something I've played so many times. I love the story that it evokes. I'm a big Lord of the Rings living card game fan as well. So the progression of the quest or the scenario gradually moves along. And I love being able to take on the scenario in different ways. Like I can, if I want to, I can try to take Hulk up against him and just punch him to death and remove all the threat that way. Or I could do something that's a bit more clever and try and navigate it a little bit, like a little bit of damage here, maybe throw some threat off there. And you can also give yourself more encounter cards in the first stage by just trying to sort of make your life easier by dishing yourself an encounter for later. It ticks all the boxes for me. It's a good story. It's enough of a challenge. Gives me decisions to make along the way. Love it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't think we hear too many people praise Collector 2, Escape the Museum. It is fun. I think you're right. It has a lot of different things going on for it. It's not just a punch a rhino till he falls over kind of thing. That's a great one.
Anytime you have something more than just punching the villain is something that I really like. So Spiral sort of had that where you can be removing threat to try and get yourself into a better position. Collector, you obviously get rewarded. The Sinister Six scenario does it a little bit, where if you knock out the last one, you get a bit more threat removed, and you're eventually not just trying to punch them all out, you're removing threat to get yourself into a position where you're going to win the game. So anything that changes up the formula a bit for me is something that I really enjoy.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on Hela then?
Yeah, she's probably a notable number 4. I figured, as I was deciding my top 3, I was wondering whether I should have both Collector and Hela in there. I just chose Collector, but Hela's another one I really like. I have a bit of a, in your episode with Hela, you guys sort of, I think Mike especially mentioned how you can sort of game the system and sit back. I really don't like to do that. Like if I'm playing solo, I don't want acceleration on in the first stage. So I really like to push straight through and get up to Scourge as quickly as I can. That's just my sort of style of play. So I try and hit the ground running really fast with that scenario. And if I can get onto stage 2 and get myself set up a little bit better, then I think I'm in a better position to win it. So that might just be the way I play it, that I get more enjoyment out of that one than most. But yeah, Hell is another favourite of mine.
Yeah, I agree. That acceleration in solos can be pretty tough. So, yeah. Well, hey, Mark, thanks for coming on and talking top 3 villains. We are looking into the future. We've got a lot of games, still ahead of us. But is there I'm going to spring this on you, is there a villain or a hero that you cannot wait till they join this game?
A villain that I can't wait to see would be Kingpin. I think that he's sort of like the way he is portrayed, at least from what I've seen in comics and like in the Spider-Verse movies, he's got an interesting sort of setup. Like he's a politician. He sort of runs the show. He's big and strong, but that's not really what he's all about. I think the designers could do a great job of doing something really interesting and unusual with him. As for heroes, I think that Professor X would be an excellent choice for a hero because you could do some weird stuff with him, right? Like he doesn't attack or he can't attack. Maybe he can't damage people without using his allies, or he would obviously have a really big thwart ability. There's some psionic stuff that's coming out that could suit him. I reckon he could be a very interesting and entertaining hero to try and take up.
Yeah, that he could pose some interesting design questions for creating that character, I think. Yeah. Hey, like I said, it's been great having you on, and I hope that you keep listening and keep sending us questions, and we will try to answer things, a little more timely. And Mark, thank you very much. And, keep playing, keep listening.
Will do. Congrats on the 200. I'll be definitely listening along and following along with all the rest of the adventures that you guys get up to.
Thank you. Well, there you go, guys. That was my little sit down with Mark. Thanks, Mark. That was really nice.
Nice.
That was lovely.
Yeah, I had a good time.
And Mark, thanks for being there.
Well, that puts us at part 7. So now we're more than halfway, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, technically.
Well,
wait. We've done 6 of 13? Then no.
Okay. Well, we're about to do.
Sure.
More than half.
Okay.
I do math. What we have is a community member, a content maker out there. Folks will know this YouTube channel, Northern Lights Over Arkham. Well, he
Great
sent
name.
in. It's fun. He does a little bit more than Arkham now, and he sent in a little soundbite with a little question for us. So why don't we give a listen?
Awesome.
Hi, this is JP from Not the Lights Over Arkham YouTube channel. Congratulations on episode 200. It feels like it was just yesterday when you were talking about Rhino and his encounter set, but now we are already a long way off from those times. Keep up the great work you guys are doing with the podcast. It's still my favorite Marvel Champions podcast of all time, and I enjoy every moment of it. I want to leave you off with a little question. We all know that the campaigns in Marvel Champions are played so that you need to defeat the previous villain to advance. This undermines the villains and puts the so-called heroes as the victors all the time. But what if there was a fail-forward mechanic in Marvel Champions? Even if the heroes lost the scenario, the campaign would continue to the next scenario in line, but with a few changes. This way the villains would also have the chance to come on top as the victors. That's what I think would be really awesome, don't you think? So here is the question. How would you implement the fail-forward mechanic into Marvel Champions, the card game? So let me hear your thoughts and keep up the villainous work. JP out.
Oh, I love that
Ooh.
question. Well,
Okay.
I think it obviously begins with like how they've already been doing the campaigns in terms of like the market or the reputation track, those types of things. It starts there, right? So what do you guys think? Like you lose to it, and rather than restart, like that track becomes, if the villains won or if you won, get some things.
Yeah,
So how would you do it, right?
I see it as a reverse of
Okay. Yeah.
of what they did in Sinister Motives. Like why if you lost, okay, to keep the player engaged, let's give them, a slight boon. But the bad guys won. They're gonna get a benefit, whether it's more scheme or whatever they did.
So Mike, how would you make that different from the reputation track that already exists though?
I would just flip it so you only advanced it when you did bad.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because you could definitely do like, okay, if you lost, then you move on to the next one, and the villain has additional cards in his deck, or you start with a smaller hand size, or you
start with an encounter card, or
your hit points are lower, but then it could get to the point where like you lose more, right? And that could be a bad beat, right? You're like, oh, I just keep losing, so it just keeps getting harder, so I just keep losing. So it would have to be balanced, I think.
Oh yeah, that's why I thought
Yeah.
like both tracks would happen. So the villain would obviously get better because thematically that works. But then on the player side, it would be the handicaps. All right, we'll give you a freaking helicarrier. Just for the love of God, defeat Rhino.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, I mean, if you were to copy like the idea behind Sinister Motives, you could have two tracks, and one is if you win, you go up this track, which gives both sides a benefit. But if you lose, you go up this track, which gives both sides a different kind of benefit, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like some kind of like branching path mechanic, I think is what's needed. Like you'd have to do it that way. If you win this way, if you lose that way, and it can't be that the villain gets harder because you lost, right? Because then it becomes like the beatdown mechanic. But it could be that the villain gets a little more nuanced, and so there's like maybe what happens in the fail forward is that because they won that first scenario, their ways in which they want to win become like spread out, and so you might actually have two ways to achieve victory in the next one. Right? There's a trying to do that you could defeat, or you just beat them up like normal. But they've gotten themselves a little bit tougher, but they're trying this new thing. Like, I don't know, like
you could definitely
it could become nuanced in a way that's different.
Yeah, you could definitely say, okay, the villain won, so instead of putting this modular set in, which has these specific story elements to it.
Yeah.
This modular set in that has these
Oh.
specific story elements.
Well, I like that a lot.
That's
And
really
that
good.
modular
yeah.
set might be a little bit more difficult, require a little bit more threat removal or something, but
Right, or it's just it could be more difficult in a certain way. Like, okay, it has more minions because of whatever that the story says, or it has more side schemes, or there's more attachments for the villain because he did get to raid the armory. So
and players can adapt to that, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you know that that's what it means, that you failed forward in that, like the minion scheme comes up, like you're saying, Steve, then you can still rebuild your deck, right? I mean,
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about campaigns in Marvel.
Ooh, and if you lost a Rhino, you bring in the Rhino modular set in the next one because he's still there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so there's some cool options.
Yeah. And I wonder if there isn't a way that smart community minds could come together and make kind of little ways to do that for campaigns.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be doable out there. And I bet there are some very creative folks out there who could do that for us.
Isn't that what minions are for?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I mean, what about the genius that asked this question?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he seemed incredibly...
No one's going to ask us a question again.
Right. But don't you really only ask questions because you think you know the answer? That's the only reason I ask you guys anything.
That's why I stopped asking Moose what was on his mind tonight.
No, but in real life, that's a great question. And I think design space wise, I think it's a really interesting place to explore because, Arkham does it. Now, remember, Arkham is a very different game. It's very narrative based, and it makes sense that failure leads just to a different narrative path. Whereas this is like a punch up the villain kind of thing over and over. That it's a little different, but I think you could make the story go in different directions that are pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a great idea. So.
Yeah. And thank you, Northern Lights over Arkham. That was awesome. And thanks for listening, and thanks for saying this is your favorite podcast. I heard favorite podcast of all time. I'm sure he said he qualified it more than that, but I hear what I hear. I hear what I hear.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Speaking of campaigns, we got this really fun narrative audio campaign sent in to us. I should have played it probably way back in Sinister Motives, but I had my own motives, and I didn't, from listener Danimal. And,
nice.
Folks might remember him from All Hail King Loki. He sent in an audio clip.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So he sent in one from J. Jonah Jameson. So let's give it a listen.
All right.
Breaking news. I'm J. Jonah Jameson here with your newsbreak. The Sinister Six take over New York. Who's to blame? I'll tell you who's to blame. It's Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman's to blame. She's a menace. She's always been known for her uncertain loyalties, and this newest failure proves once and for all that she's the true villain. We caught up with her friend, Jamie Madrox, to give us the full scoop. Yeah, I'm Jamie Madrox, a.k.a. Multiple Man. Me and Spider-Woman were cruising along, taking out all the villains that plagued the city. Spider-Woman and me had a flawless strategy where I would multiply myself and then we would have the strength in numbers advantage. We took care of Sandman, Venom, and Mysterio with ease, really gaining a lot of reputation with the public, but that also meant that our foes would be more prepared for us. When we encountered the Sinister Six, they ambushed us, distracted us with a decoy, and then put up a brute force barricade. I wasn't concerned, but Spider-Woman had acquired this retinal display that locked her in on the light at the end. But the barricade prevented us from getting to it, and the decoy prevented us from taking care of the barricade. No matter how hard we fought, we couldn't break through. Oh, this reminds me of the famous line from Sir Walter Scott. What a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. And that's what spider fools do. They deceive us, deceive the city, deceive you and I, and maybe even themselves. And we end up here, at the end of the world. So thank you for joining me on this episode of the Daily Bugle. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also support the Daily Bugle over at Pay Me Money. Follow me on all my social medias at The Real J. Jonah Jameson. You can also purchase one of our She's a Menace t-shirts on our website, jjonahjameson.com. And I'm J. Jonah Jameson, signing off.
That was lovely.
Yeah, it was really good.
Wow. Damn, thank you. Oh my God, it was awesome.
Yeah. And I promise, if you send us more as we're doing the campaigns, and you remind me, I will do them more timely. Promise.
So he sent this one to you 37 years ago.
Yeah, like when we were doing the Sister Modus wave. So a box ago.
Where did this just ended up in the lair kind of in our storage closet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I found the recording stuck to the wall outside with this spider webbing.
Sure.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was awesome. He's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
All right. Now we're done. Now we're more than halfway.
Okay.
Right, Mike?
Oh yeah. All right. What's next, Dirk? Segment 8, Kidnap a Dwarf. Okay, so we're not doing this anymore. This joke is aging like sour milk. That's done. I got a better idea.
Okay.
Why don't we play that lovely interview that we had with friend of the show, Doff DeHare?
Oh, that's a better idea.
Hit it.
All right. Well, we are joined by loyal minion Doff. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. All the way from someplace in Europe. So, hi.
Yeah. Hello, my nefarious overlord. Thank you for this time, for the opportunity to speak for all of the loyal minions who have had to work in the polar bear stables lately. It is an honor.
Welcome.
So we're just here to chit chat. We'd like to get to know our listeners and some questions. Let's start with a real easy one. Duff, when did you first get into the game, and how did you get into it? And are you a longtime gamer, or is this your first one?
All right. No, this is definitely not my first one. I believe my Board Game Geek tracker is at 513 games, including expansions, like majority expansions, because I've got like 4 complete LCGs.
Okay.
Wow. I think I started 10, 12 years ago, and I've gradually grown in game collection. I like heavy Euro games a lot for people who know like the lingo. However, I also like the Fantasy Flight games, LCGs, a lot. So I used to play Android Netrunner. That was still like a Big 10 in my book. And then, that stopped. So Marvel Champions came around in 2019, I remember. And I started playing Marvel Champions from the get-go. Like, I played it at a fair in the Netherlands and immediately got hooked, like with the core set. And I played the hell out of the core set. More stuff came out, and it just kept dragging me in, and it was so much fun. Like, the Green Goblin mutagen scenario is just still my favorite to this day. I cannot stop playing that. So I've got a history, and I like this game. Yeah, it works on every single level. It just baffles me.
So, which other you mentioned 4 LCGs? Which other ones did you play?
So I also play, and have played and still play Arkham Horror, and I actually have, like, this is a super guilty confession, I have the entire Lord of the Rings LCG.
Hey!
And I played 6, 7 scenarios, and then I kind of put it into the storage, so I spent like so much money out of FOMO. I believe the missus still lets out a sigh every 2 months in regard to that. So, I'm kind of paying my dues on that one.
hey, you know what, though? The beauty of the co-op LCG is you can play that game forever. The meta doesn't change. You can dig it out of the closet. You can set it up 10 years from now and play it. and it's the same game it was 10 years ago. So
that is the argument I'm going to try next month when that happens. That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So, Daf, where are you from?
I'm Dutch.
Dutch.
I am, from the Netherlands, like this very, very tiny country below sea level, mostly, where, the appendage of Europe, you might say.
Jenny commented on that at some point in a recent show. So, being below sea level.
Yeah. We are all very much looking forward to the sea level going even higher. Like that is of some national concern here. A little bit.
So you're basically our Florida. That's cool.
Okay.
Whoa.
I mean, geographically only. Geographically.
All right.
Only.
That comparison, like, we don't have anything, like we don't have any gators or swamplands here. We actually managed to reclaim an entire part of land back from the sea. I think that was the last big work we did. But we're just a very flat country. We have great cheese. And we have a couple of big cities, and we're like 17 million people over here. So we're tiny in every comparison.
Nice. But there's a nice LCG community out there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Marvel Champions in my part of the country, like the northeastern part, is a bit sparse, sadly. But I still see a lot of release events, like with Deadpool in the western part and the middle parts of the country. You still see events coming up. And I think those communities are still very healthy. So, yeah.
And is it easy for you to get over there?
Yeah. I don't get out a lot of that part of the country anymore. Like I used to live in Utrecht, which is the most central city in the Netherlands, a couple of years back. But nowadays with work and other things in life getting in the way, it happens and it becomes a little bit harder.
So if we have listeners from the northeast part of the country that want to play, they can reach out to us and we'll give them your info and then you guys can play. That's what you need.
That works.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I'm always looking out for more people to play this game with.
So when you do play this game, are you playing mostly solo or do you have some friends out there who are playing with you?
I have a couple of groups with which I play games. And some of the groups, I only play heavy Euros, like Vital Lacerda kind of games.
Okay.
But I've got a couple of people who are very much into Marvel, and I play Marvel Champions with them. And then I think 80% of the time I play solo two-handed. Like that's my favorite way to approach a game. I love that.
Okay, so two-handed. Do you play like theme two-handed, or do you just kind of throw together whatever strikes your fancy?
Whatever strikes my fancy. Unless I'm playing Iron Man, then Cody has to join. And War Machine gets to hit the table as well, and they both get stomped, which is fun, you know.
Who are you playing? Let's talk favorite villain with modular combo. You're going to bring Iron Man out to the table. You want him to get crushed by somebody. Who are you playing against? Who's your villain?
All right. So a regular Sunday. Okay. Then my favorite villain still to this day is Mutant Formula. Like I said, I just love that scenario to death. I think it's really cool. It works. And then closely behind that, I would imagine Magneto right now. Magneto is just so good, especially if you throw in the Acolytes and then you add in the extra modular with the extra Acolytes. I forget his name.
Oh, Exodus.
Exodus?
Yeah, there we go. That just works for me. That clicks.
You are a sucker for punishment.
Yeah, every now and then.
Did you play do you build your own decks, or do you play the pre-builds, or both?
I definitely built my own decks. Like I try the pre-builds and then I deconstruct them and then I start building my own stuff. And compared to the other LCGs, Marvel Champions just has so many little spheres where you can just easily build an archetype, and that works out of the box. So I find compared to the other LCGs, deck building is really easy to pick up and just do on the fly, and it doesn't take too much time. So definitely custom. Yeah,
I think you said maybe you try the precons first. I think that's the way to do it. Play a game with the precon and then deconstruct and go from there. I agree too. It's so much easier to build in Marvel Champions than say Arkham, where you're worried about experience points and deck building restrictions that are all over the place.
The traits of the cards you're putting in your deck and the level of them. Yeah.
And how many hands do I have, or amulet slots, or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, Arkham requires a lot of foresight, and I'm not sure I'm the most qualified person to build decks in that regard. So I try every now and then I just go to the internet. I'm like, yeah, no, this works nicely. I'll just appropriate this. That works. Okay, yeah, thank you, internet. Okay.
Yeah. So do you have a? We're going to talk about these things, the heroes. But do you have one out there you spy on a lot by utilizing? Do you have a hero that is your favorite to play with? Because we do have to play the game, so you have to be a hero at times. But
it is. There's one of the things you just have to kind of bite the bullet on. But stomping Iron Man is all fun, like every Sunday, steadily. But if I want to do a little bit of spying on the heroes, I think I'm just going to go SPDR.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that puzzle works for me. It's just like endorphins all the way. Just happy feelings, happy things. So, yeah.
I fully approve of that choice. So. Do you have an aspect you go to? Favorite aspect, or Mike's a big protection fan. That kind of some people just gravitate to a certain aspect.
Okay, so do I tick off Mike, or do I dare?
Yes, you do.
Is it going to be another month in the polar bear pens? That was rough. Like, I got bitten a lot of times by now. I've lost a lot of blood. But I actually, like, without fooling around, I think my favorite right now is actually protection. Not all of the time, but expert defense is just such fun archetype to make it work. And heroes like Spider-Gwen, or Grow Spider, I mean, in combination with protection, Quicksilver in combination with protection. I like that. But I also find myself playing Justice, like, just as much.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks for that, Doff. Your check's in the mail.
Holiday bonus.
I'm still afraid of those polar bear pens. Not here.
I'm actually, Justice started fairly weak in my opinion. Not weak in strength, weak in play style. But I really like the architects they've been going into lately.
Yeah,
they've given them a lot of options that are looking pretty spectacular, and I'm looking forward to trying out the float like a butterfly style cards, where you deal damage with confusion. Just another way to do things.
I think what the recent releases have brought in terms of like deck building variety were subtle but very strong changes and additions. And especially the player side schemes, they worked on a different level than I was expecting at first, but I'm super happy to see what the state of the game is right now. Like in terms of variety and deck building and choices, that's just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So, Doff, you play this game a lot. What's your favorite campaign? Big box.
That is, without a doubt, Sinister Motives.
Oh.
Like 100%. Neck and shoulders above the rest.
Neck and shoulders?
Yeah.
Okay.
And something below that, but I forget. Like, we didn't do that part of the child run when I was young.
What is it about Sinister Motives?
The campaign mechanics. Like, you get benefits and you get something that works in the villain's favor. And it feels like you're really being rewarded. And you've got like these different checks you can get. So you can perfect your game. And in some scenarios, that is harder. With the Sinister Sticks, I usually find myself failing on one or two accounts. But I don't mind. And then I think all of the scenarios themselves are pretty strong as well. Because I like Sandman, I like Venom, I like Mysterio, I like the Sinister Six, a little bit less, but still. And Venom Goblin is also one I highly value, even though he grinds my face in the dust every now and then with that advanced glider of his. So just, the combination of those aspects.
Yeah, that's a good campaign. It's pretty high up on the list of people's favorites. So,
and what's your least favorite? And I just want you to say what Mike's favorite is. That's why I'm asking that.
Sharpening the knives. Sharpening the knives.
Mike is the only person I know that has the particular one as his favorite. So
Like my least favorite, I still to this day will argue that the weakest box of the bunch, and I'm % forgetting its name and stretching this sentence as long as I can while I'm looking it up. But that is Rise of Red Skull for me, 100%. I find that so bland and so easy that I really don't ever come back to it.
Because of the difficulty level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Zola and Red Skull outside of the campaign, I like a lot. With Zola being my favorite from that box, but the campaign is just like the first 3 scenarios. I don't know why I'm playing those, even on expert. Like Crossbones will 100% crush me every now and then because he's just lucky on a draw, but I don't find any of those mechanics engaging, so I rarely play that.
I'm going to sharpen my knives. Okay.
Yeah, wrong answer, but that's fine.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm sorry, my evil overlord.
No,
Please
it's
forgive
great.
me.
It's great. Second check's in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what's really great about this. So the boxes appeal to different people for different reasons.
Yeah, I see. Like online, I read a lot of people actually like that campaign a lot, but I just prefer a bigger challenge than Rise of Red Skull gave me. I think that's the biggest gripe I have with that box. But it's not a bad box in any stretch of the imagination.
Are you mostly playing expert? Do you play any standard 2 or expert 2?
No, I'm not that sadomasochistic.
You have to go back and play Rise of Red Skull on expert 2 and standard 2, both of them. There you go. That's my challenge for you.
That is even worse than the Polar Bear Stables. But yeah, okay. Fair.
All right.
Or you can wait until standard 3 pops out.
I am really looking forward to that one. That looks like standard 3 from what they've spoiled so far. Looks very nice.
My punishment for you is that what I said. So.
All right.
Okay.
I'll make it happen, evil overlord. Your wish is my command.
I like this guy.
Maybe we should give him a better job.
Yeah, do we have a job for Duff? I mean, the Polar Bear Stables and all that. At some point, he'll have to get a promotion.
It's nice, but once they get a taste of you, like they know what they can get, and then they just keep coming back. And there's only so much meat I can have gnawed from my bones until I have to look for a different skin graft.
Well, we'll think of something when we get around to thanking you for being a patron in a couple 30-some issues or something like that. So just stay with us and we'll upgrade you.
Thank you, most benevolent leader.
Well, gentlemen, I must depart, sadly.
Well, Daniel, thanks for swinging in.
Yeah, thank you. Great to talk to y'all. Thanks,
It's nice talking to you, Daniel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care, bud.
Cheers.
So we only have a few more questions left, really, for you. I think what I'd like to know is, do you have heroes or villains in the future that you're interested in? We're working on our 3rd wave of mutants. What do you think is next? What do you want to be next? What would what would grab you for the next campaign or 2?
Ooh, yeah. When the mutants were announced, I was not that into the mutants, even though I love the 90s cartoon. But I like what they've done with them, and I really like what the Age of Apocalypse looks like. Like, I'm super curious to see what's in there, and that's really drawing me. And then, of course, I think I have to go with 2 things. One is what the entire community is clamoring for, and I'm no exception. So Daredevil, just give me a street-level heroes, give them to me now. I want them.
The villain in me hopes that Daredevil doesn't come out for like 4 more years just to drive everyone insane. But the Marvel fan to me is like, no, I don't want that to happen. I want him to come out sooner than that. So
I 100% understand exactly that, because it is fun to see that discussion come up like every month. And if it doesn't happen, it's all right. But I would like to see that happen. And I'm actually kind of curious to what they're going to do with the Fantastic Four as well. I'm not a big Marvel fan, but I know that IP, and for some reason it really speaks to me. So, yeah, I'm curious.
I already have Invisible Woman. I right here, right in front of me. Can you see her?
Could you show it to me?
Yeah, no, I can't. Sorry.
Oh.
It's a bad joke. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay. Overall, how are you doing burnout wise? You said you have 500 games. With all the new archetypes types coming out, are you still invested? Do you still continue to look forward to the next thing coming out and feel like you still have a lot of options available to you?
Options, 100%. Like I've scratched the surface of the game. Burned out, yes, but I am still engaged. I have, however, just spent, I think, 5 or 6 weeks of not playing the game because I noticed that the veneer of gameplay was starting to scratch for me. You know, with all of these LCGs, you have this overarching insight that mechanically everything starts looking the same, and that's a dangerous territory to get to. And usually for me, that's a part where I don't want to go to because that means I'm just playing the game too much. And I still think Marvel Champions is an awesome game. I still follow the releases, and I'm very curious to see what's coming next. But right now I'm taking a small break. I think in a week, maybe 2, I'll probably pick up a couple of decks and start playing again because I still love this game so much. And I notice that every time I put it down, it might take a couple of weeks, but my interest to playing comes back. And I always get drawn back into the game. I think that will happen for the rest of the duration of the game and beyond that, of course.
What do you think of the pool aspect?
I like that pool. Like I just want to say that up front. The pool aspect I have not played yet. I am curious to see. I think the shenanigans in them are not too bad, and they really draw to me. The only thing I really dislike what I saw was the mini games. They just seem a little bit fiddly to me. But leaning into the danger of all of those icons and really emphasizing and strengthening rush play seems really good and really nice. So I think it just brings more variety in a good way.
Yeah, I think there's enough cards in the pool aspect where you can avoid the mini games, or you can lean into them, or you can go, like you said, the risk reward options. Yeah, there's some choices in there. I've played pool a little bit now, so.
It looks great. I've seen all the cards, and it looks like the cuts they made in the other aspects, and then also the idea of bringing back cards from the core set and the earlier sets as more strengthened versions of themselves. I think that does justice to some cards that were overlooked before, and now get some extra attention, which is it's just great. It's just great design.
Oh, I look forward to policing the healing card. No, you weren't away from the game for 10 minutes. You can't cheat your way through that. You can't just say you did it.
That was 9 minutes and 59 seconds, buddy. Get back out there.
That card makes really fun when you're streaming and you just get up and walk away from your computer. And everybody has to sit around listening to music maybe in the background. I don't know. So
it's the designers, guys. They made me do this. You know, you want to enjoy the stream. I get it, but this just has to happen.
Yeah, go take a break because we're going to get a drink. So. That's funny. All right, well, Duff, thanks so much for coming on. And folks won't know this, but this is actually the second time you came on because we had some technical issues. Iron Man, I guess, maybe came in and deleted our original recording. So thanks for coming on a second time and recording with us again. It's been fun.
We will continue to fight all of those goody two-shoes, my nefarious overlords, as many times as is needed. No worries. And my pleasure.
Thanks, Duff. Good to talk to you again. Hope to see you in the future.
It was very nice talking to you guys again as well. And it was great talking about the state of the game. I look forward to the next show, as always.
All right. And now back to our regularly scheduled 200th episode.
Wow. That was really great. That was pleasant.
Pleasant.
That was awesome. Dr. Hare, thank you.
Yeah, it was fun. Sit down and talk with him and discuss the game. Again, just talking to the game with people that want to talk about the game. So much fun.
Turns out there's folks out there that want that.
Yeah.
You are referencing a segment that is in the future.
Time stuff.
Hello, Critical Encounters villains. How are you all doing today?
In here.
Hello?
Hi?
Who's this?
Oh, it's just Xander. I let myself in the back. You gave me the key last time, and I thought that was like just an open invitation, so I just kind of walked in. I did bring some WD-40. I like got some of the hinges on the door. It was very squeaky. I'm just trying to take care of your guys' lair here a little
I
bit.
had to wait 29 episodes before I got my key.
Steve, you said you were going to change the lock.
Hey, you gave him the key.
I know. That's because I figured you'd fix it in post.
Oh, well, I'll if it's a problem, I can return it. I am a good guy here, so I understand not wanting me, snooping
don't worry
around.
about it. It's actually Mustafa's old key, so maybe give it back to him after the interview.
I thought you gave that to the Canadian guy.
Well, then he lost it.
What's going on here?
Hi, Xander.
Hello. Yes, I just dropped by today because I knew that you all were celebrating your 200th episode. And I know you've obviously worked with some of us from FFG and other people in the community to do the interrogation room, because I wanted to kind of flip that on its head today. And, we're going to interrogate you all and figure out a little bit more about you all.
Oh, I like that. I could talk about myself. Do you want a monologue or do you have...
Well, I'll handle the questions, I think. I think
okay.
that seems, this is going to be a controlled environment here. We need to make sure that keep things up to snuff here. But, no monologues, no, end of the world thing. This is just for me to learn a little bit more.
No monologues, I'm out.
Yeah. So I really came here today because I know 200 episodes. So I jumped into Marvel Champions a little later than most. So I honestly don't know much about your start with Critical Encounter. So I wanted to come here and just find out, where did you all start, and how do you all feel about making it to 200 now?
Well, I'll start. I did not make it to 200. I don't remember what episode I resigned on, but it was a while ago. But I could tell you that we started when Daniel said, "Hey, I know this cool guy, and more importantly, he knows how to edit and post podcasts." And and we all played what's this game called again? Marvel Champions at the time. And so there you go. That's what I remember. My memory is not great, so there might be some details I might have skipped.
Well, Steve, why don't you start this one? I mean, this is your genesis.
All right. So we all played Lord of the Rings and Arkham Horror, and here's a new LCG from FFG, and it's got Caleb Grace's name on it, and Nate French, and Michael Boggs, and it's like, oh, cool. And I said, I don't want anything to do with this game. I have enough games that I played. I think I was really lying to myself, right? There's never enough games. So I didn't get into it until maybe a month or two after it came out. I waited, right? I paced myself a little bit. And then I played it once, and I'm like, this is great. I love this game. So I need to do a podcast about it now. Having listened to podcasts for the other games, and then having started listening to the podcasts that were out for Marvel, and there was 9 of them at the time. I think only one of those 9 is left. I just had this idea. I'm like, I want to do a podcast about it, but I don't want to do a podcast like everybody else because the market was saturated, right? And I really enjoyed learning about the lore of the characters and being a villain and the modular sets, and nobody was doing that. Nobody was talking about the modular set specifically or doing any pieces of lore. A lot of the shows were 2 hours long, and we're like, we got to do a small show. So there was all these different podcasts that I had listened to, and I was trying to take the little pieces that I liked the best. And I sat on that idea for a while, and then I got a hold of Daniel. I said, hey, Daniel, want to do a podcast with me? I have no idea how to do it, but do you want to do it with me? And he said, yes. So that was the first big trick I got on Daniel.
And that was smart of you to choose me, because by that time I was already world famous.
Yes.
From Monday Night Twitch, right, with Mike. And I came into this game pretty early. I had the delightful opportunity to demo it at Gen Con before it officially was released, and I was there with some of the Cardboard of the Rings fellas, and we demoed it at the FFG, place there. And I took turns playing Spider-Man with Fishbaugh, Aaron, and I thought it was really a cool game. And having played, Lord of the Rings and Arkham Horror, like it was so easy to pick this game up. Like you already know all the lingo. It's familiar enough mechanically, but very different in play. So I was already engaged. So when Steve asked me, and Steve, we had met at a Con of the Rings, right?
Yep, we met at Con of the Rings.
That's sort of where we started talking about this, and I was totally on board. And then we were trying to figure out who was going to be the best third ever. And Mike had already said no, like long ago.
And the guys in my local game group were not interested. But yeah, Daniel, you and I knew each other from being, active community members for Lord of the Rings, and
Yep.
I think I met you at a Gen Con too, and all this sort of stuff. So then Daniel eventually said, "Oh, I know a guy who'd be great."
I know a guy, the most interesting person I know in the universe, would have a lot of interesting things to say about this. And so, yeah, I called up Mustafa, and I sold him. He was so interested in this.
Well,
Mustafa, how many episodes in it were when you like first publicly suggested, what if we talk about other games? That was
one?
what, episode 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, look, so I am not as much into the LCG scene as you two are. I enjoy them, but eventually they outgrow me in that, I both financially and, from a kind of space and mental capacity perspective, I can't keep up with the release schedule. I understand FFG has to make money, but the system just does not work for me. I also think that it leads to, let's not get into all the issues because we have FFG here with us.
Yes.
He probably doesn't want to hear me talk about this stuff. But power creep. And anyway, but Daniel brought back the Marvel Champions core set. We used to game with him occasionally, or regularly, I should say. Now we're gaming slightly less because he has other friends now. And he introduced me to Marvel Champions, and I liked the game. I'm also not into comic books or superheroes that much. You might have heard me talk about that a little bit as well. But I liked the game. I liked as you were saying, the simplicity of it. I liked the kind of pacing. I like the interactiveness of the co-op where you actually can do things for other people. So those were things that made me want to play it more. I even actually bought a whole bunch of cards up to the second big expansion, or maybe the third. I forget now. Daniel gifted me the core set. Thank you, Daniel.
Absolutely.
And we had talked, Daniel, you and I, about doing a gaming podcast before this one, but we just never could get our act together. And Daniel's, the way he kind of sold me on it is like, hey, this guy knows exactly what to do, and he does have his act together, and all you have to do is show up and speak. So I was easily duped.
I definitely fooled you guys because I had no idea what I was doing on the technical side of things. Danny, you mentioned Aaron Fishbaugh, the editor for Cardboard of the Rings. I leaned on him a whole bunch, like, what software do you use? How do you do this? What should I do? Help me. And I think at a certain point he probably got a little annoyed, but he was very gracious and helped me out to get us up and running.
Steve,
so.
I don't think that I'm exaggerating when I say that you've become the world's greatest LCG podcast editor out there.
I'll take that. I like those qualifications.
Down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's high praise right there.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff you do, because Mike and I and Mustafa back in the day, like we would do our bit and we'd hear we would never hear the show, right? And it is always so surprising to hear what you've actually done with the stuff that I'm amazed every time.
I still haven't heard it.
How you're just able to put the things together, like recently listening to the horror show, right? Like that was probably a very difficult task for you since Mike did his lines at a different time. And and Oriana too, like they were elsewhere in else time, and You put it all together. It's seamless, dude. It's incredible.
Thank you.
It's absolutely incredible. So, and Moose, if you listen to our podcast, you'd be impressed too.
Yeah, I probably should.
So at a certain point, though, Moose, you faded, and we couldn't go just Daniel and I talking to each other, and we said, "Who can we get to join us?" And then
I was on a long time before that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got you on. We said we need a new person, and here's Mike. Right? Mike joined. So
Yeah,
that was helpful.
So I wasn't going to get into this game, but I was at two things kind of happened pretty close to each other. One, just before COVID, I was doing a Labyrinths of Lunacy game at my local game store, and across from me the whole night is this display of Marvel Champions, just like looking at me, staring at me. So of course I walked out with that, and then COVID happened, and I ended up in surgery, just a finger surgery, and I was like flat out on my back for a little bit, and I ended up with a Marvel Unlimited subscription to pass the time, and started reading about that. Daniel, I believe you said, "Hey, Steve's doing a podcast." I said, "Oh yeah, that's nice." He says, "Do you want to do this?" I said, I don't have time. I just don't have time.
Wait a second. I have a lot of questions. You had finger surgery, but you were flat out on your back afterwards?
A lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs. A lot of drugs.
I was trying to figure out how that affected your
Canadian healthcare, man. They doped them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Canada. They probably
it's nice up there.
Yeah.
That was your question?
That was my question. I was wondering about it. I was trying to imagine you like not being able to walk on your fingers, but clearly I was in the wrong ballpark.
Yeah. So no, I said no, I don't have time, but I'll guest host. And so I came on for the Titania episode, and I think I might have been one other once, and then eventually I relented. You wore me down, and I hopped on. That was that, and I was active in the Lord of the Rings community, and obviously Daniel and I were doing the Twitch. Steve, I'd known you for a while already, and it just worked out that way. It was I knew you guys, I knew what I was getting into, and that was that. And here we are, 200 episodes later.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. It's a lovely creative outlet. We really just do whatever we want to do.
Yeah, talk about villains and a game like as part of your creative outlet. What more can you want right there? To hang out and cat decks and setups, and if you're a Marvel fan, it seems like you got into the comics there for a little bit, so it's super fun.
Yeah. Well, and initially I was like, oh well, I'm not huge into the comics and stuff. What are they going to do? Oh, they're going to do all the big ones first. I don't really care about. Yeah, they'll never get to Guardians or get first box after Red Skull, right? It's the Guardians box, so of course I'm in.
Yeah,
awesome.
I haven't met a gamer who doesn't like to talk about the games they play, or discuss how a game went. Right? I think even the most introverted gamer out there is playing a game and wants to connect and talk to other people about the game, even if it's the 3 other people that they happen to play with. Even if it's a solo game and they're online and they're reading about it, or they're posting somewhere. So being able to do this week after week after week after week and meet the community and talk to new players and be doing this with friends, just like 200 times plus, has just been a real joy and a blessing in my life, in my gaming life, and my regular life. So it's been amazing.
That's really sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was? Shoot. We have a reputation here. I'll edit that out somehow. No.
Yeah, cut it.
I'll play some dramatic evil music over it. Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah. It'll just be static for a minute, and then just it cuts back to me saying that's sweet, and we'll go back.
Well, actually, Steve, it goes with the ethos of this show, which is like, how do we connect with villains, right?
Right.
You said something about connection and how people can do that. Well done.
Nice.
That's like a meta moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that brings me to my next question for you all, which, I know that you've all asked this of me and other guests you've had on here as well, but this goes along really well with talking about connecting with villains and also getting to talk about your plays or your playthroughs is like you've asked, is who's your favorite hero to see lose and villain to see triumph as you're playing? I know you're obviously rooting for the villains no matter what as you're playing. So who are you looking forward to when you sit across the table from them?
Okay, sure. Ooh, well, Daniel and I have this long-standing. We love to see Tony Stark get his butt kicked. Let's choose a different one though. Let's. Oh, I think Ironheart needs to go next. It's
Really?
just that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, once she gets to beast mode, she's got to be taken
Yeah.
down a couple notches. So I want to see her lose a little bit because she's holy crap. That power level is amazing. And as for heroes, who do I love to see win? I love seeing Loki win every time. Some of the big hitters that are not surprising when they win, it's less entertaining. But when Loki kind of comes out of there from nowhere, it's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, Iron Man is the obvious one for me, but also as a true villain, I really like when the icons of virtue get handed a butt whooping. So Captain America, it's fun to beat up on him too.
Hooray!
You got my back on that one, Mustafa.
He's a fascist. He deserves being beaten down.
Bold words. And the villain I like. Well, for me, I love when Rhino sneaks a win in.
Oh yeah,
Hands down, like everybody's favorite punching bag.
mm-hmm.
Sometimes he just gets that advance at the right moment.
Yep. Or sometimes someone gives them an Infinity Gauntlet.
Turns out anyone with an Infinity Gauntlet's all right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely rooting for an underdog there with Rhino, right?
Yeah, poor guy. He's just trying to break and take. He
Yeah.
ain't hurt nobody.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So I like to see those icons fall as well. I think the one for me that the hero that I like to see get beat up and lose the most actually is the one who's always talking smack. He always has some quip he has to do. He thinks he's funny, so it's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
He's constantly beating up, his rogues gallery and scraping by and somehow winning. So I like to see him just lose.
But Steve, he's just a kid.
I don't know who he is behind the mask. I've never removed that mask, right?
Fair point.
So fair point, right?
Could be anybody.
And he rubs it in your face. He rubs it in your face when he beats you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like 6 of you, it's you and 5 buddies fighting him and he still wins. It just feels just so much worse, right?
Yep. On the flip side of that, I like to see my favorite married couple who's just visiting, on their honeymoon, win and take down that Avengers Tower. So Proxima and Corvus, the two of them, if they can win and get rid of that eyesore, I'm all for that. So
I believe they are the LCG's power couple, right?
Yeah,
They're the
definitely.
most beautiful couple. The power, yeah, they're great.
In the LCG, yeah. Still waiting for some more Titania Absorbing Man tie-ins.
Yeah, that's true.
You can make it happen. That's the beauty of the game, Mike.
Yep.
You can just make it happen. So
Awesome. So you obviously have, plenty of games under your belts here as well. And so I wanted to just ask, you've kind of gotten into this already, but some of your favorite memories from playing Marvel Champions / making this podcast. You can go either way with it. What is your favorite memory since you started, Critical Encounters?
Okay, I have a gameplay one I'll bring up first, and then we'll give the guys a chance to think. And unfortunately, it is not with these guys. It is with friend of the show, Board Game Lawyer. Hi, Bill. We played a game of Mysterio with Mystique, and I was playing Star-Lord. And the heroes did win in 4 turns, but in those 4 turns, Star-Lord had revealed 47 encounter cards. Insane. It was insane. So that game will always stick out to me. So
it was your screenshot of that at the end was an amazing work of art.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my gameplay memory.
Because every card in the game, I think, was on the table.
On the table at a certain point, yeah.
It's like, this is a wild array of color. It was pretty.
Yeah.
Right.
And as for recordings or episodes, I really enjoy like some of our very, very first interviews with FFG. I think having you guys come on sort of, I don't know, made us feel legitimate. It was like we're doing something right. They're coming on the show. You know, we're getting to know people that make the game. That was really, really exciting to me.
Yeah.
We won't stop with just who's been on now. This is my official call out to Josh Massey to come and hang out with you all. I'll call him out at work as well, but I know I'll do my best. I'll wrangle him.
Awesome.
Yeah. Part of your your shtick and your genius here, Steve, is the ability to get all these people from FFG and or the community to actually come on the show and also show them a good time. None of that would have happened because I don't imagine me or Daniel, maybe Mike, ever inviting anyone to the show.
Wow. Wow.
I said maybe, Mike. I don't know. Maybe you do invite people, but Daniel and I definitely wouldn't think of it.
But they'd be for different reasons, though, Mustafa. Me, because I wouldn't know how. You, because you just wouldn't want to. It's
That's right.
Little different. Yeah.
That's right.
I think that loops back to what I said before. Gamers want to talk about the game that they like. So it's never been hard to get other people on. And I like to have other content creators get their opinions, right? They're out there making YouTube videos or, they're doing a podcast or they're writing articles. It's just fun to have, to talk to them and, or just our loyal minions who listen to the show and want to come on and interact with us. And it's so much fun.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Steve, because one of my highlights is all the people that will come on and do the lore segments for the Nemesis. I just think that is so fun and cool that people are willing to do that and want to do that. Recording wise, episode 100 for me was just an absolute standout because it was it was totally a community thing, and it made me feel like people really are listening and kind of care about this stuff. And that was super cool. The sound bites and such, and I had a blast with the advent calendar of shows.
Oh yeah, yes.
That was a clever idea of Steve's, and it allowed for some really wild and creative, thinking on our part. And it was and again, it was also a community event. Those are my standouts. Just people listen to this thing and engage with it. Mustafa has a joke that it's just Steve's mom who has 100,000 different accounts listening to us.
Not a joke.
Sorry. Mustafa has a theory, but I think, Steve, I don't think your mom lives in Chile.
No, she's got a good VPN though.
Nothing can explain that.
VPN.
Yeah.
Daniel, I'll echo that. Like just being able to engage with the community and meeting some of these people in person. Love it. Love chatting about the show, and sometimes they'll come up to me and say, "Oh no, I'm sure you hear this all the time." No, I love chatting with the viewers, and I love hearing what they like, don't like, and it's nice getting that feedback because right now we're just talking to a robot, literally, that's recording us, and we're just saying whatever we want, and it's nice to actually see that people are actually enjoy this stuff.
I think you just hurt Craig's feelings.
You called him a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A valuable member of the team.
Yes.
He's a valuable sentinel.
Literally couldn't do it without him.
Right. Absolutely.
But and thanks to everyone who's come on and been a part of our ridiculous script.
Yes.
And I said we do whatever we want. Yeah, we do whatever we want. And then we call people and we say, read this, and they go, okay. And they just do it. And it's fantastic.
Sometimes when we say read this, we make up a gag and pretend you're at a pawn shop.
Yeah.
Pretend werewolves are getting you. Pretend you're the wrecking crew.
And sometimes Mike says to me, read this. It's lore. Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
That was one time. That was good.
Got me.
Oh, that was great.
So my favorite moment gaming wise, I don't know if this made it to the podcast. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But remember the time we tried to make the villain a player and we came up with
Yes.
rules for it?
Mm-hmm.
We kind of worked on the rules a little bit, but we're no rule writing geniuses as it turned out, because the villain ended up being kind of too strong. And I remember Daniel rage quitting that game because I think he was on the hero team and he was getting really bashed in by Super Rhino that we had created. And he's like, "This is too much. Let's stop here." I mean, I agree with him, but I felt that was funny.
Well, thanks for bringing that painful memory back up.
Did that make it onto the podcast, or is it just us?
So
There's a YouTube
well,
with that.
yeah, well, we did a recording with Daniel like that, and then because we thought it was like we didn't record it, we didn't put it out there, right? We played it, and then we thought, oh, it's too hard, so we toned it down, and then we invited some friends on, some community members, to play it, and we ran it. And because we toned it down, the villain got trounced again and was like, "Forget it, this is useless."
Stop after 2 tries.
Well, we'd invited on like 3 pros with power decks, and
we told them it was hard. Yeah,
it was so manhandled, and we're like, wow, okay. But I still think it's a good idea, and I would like to. I mean, thanks for bringing that back up.
FFG.
Because, like, that was cool.
FFG, you're on, right? Do it, because I think people would love it. Have the villain be playable.
Arch villain or something like that,
Yeah.
I think.
I think we'll only take 5% of the idea because we just told it to you. Now you know. We can even give you the cards for another 5% that we made that might need a little more development and fine-tuning, but it's pretty much done.
I say it seems like it's done. Yeah, it seems like perfectly balanced here, right?
But
I'm scrolling through the Google Doc right now.
It is still on YouTube, right? That one.
Oh yeah,
show?
yeah, it is.
We bracketed it for you, so all you have to do is find the Goldilocks stone in the middle. Easy, too hard.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Actually, the initial concept was called "Better Villains for a Better Tomorrow."
That's awesome. See,
That's
trademark
such a good
that right now. I'm gonna go trademark.
That was your name, BVBT. Yep.
Oh yeah, that was Mustafa. That was you.
Yep.
I forgot that, but yeah, I'm still gonna go trademark it.
Villains congregate.
Recording wise, I think the day we kind of fell into this "what's on your mind" thing completely by accident. I don't think we were planning it. I wasn't intending it to be funny or a repeating part of the show, but I don't know why. Like, I don't know if people remember, but or care, but I kind of don't follow the script all the time, and
You don't say. Come on.
I think it just occurred to me to just start saying something weird, and I don't know whether the first one was the Dr. Evil monologue or the second one, but I remember launching into that and you guys weren't expecting it at all, and you cracked up, and I was like,
Yeah, it was Dr. Evil.
It was so gratifying.
Yeah. I think like issue 3 or something. I'm looking at the old show notes and it just says Daniel S. Mustafa, what's on his mind? And there's just 3 dots afterwards. That was probably the first one right there.
And we opened a door into maybe the most like revered segment of this show of all time. Not like what it's become since Mustafa, but like folks still talk about 4 years later, the "What's on Your Minds Tonight," the epic "What's on Your Minds Tonight" for Mustafa. It is fantastic.
And it was total accident. Or
oh my god! And the fact that they would range anywhere between like 37 seconds and 37 hours was the best part.
Any topic too. Any topic.
So anyone who like looked on their podcast feed and saw that the show this week was 47 minutes knew that's because Moose had talked for 20 and "What's on Your Mind Tonight."
And the reason why this one is 5 hours long is because we had
True. Hey, I really love talking to you guys all the time, anytime, but I have to go. So
Well, we love you, and thank
Thanks
you so
for
much
coming
being
on.
back.
Thanks for being on.
have a good night, guys.
Good night.
All
And
right, Moose.
FFG, you better come up with that expansion and better name it. Better villains
I'll
for a
pass
better
word along.
tomorrow.
I got you.
All right.
It was great meeting
Okay.
you.
Same here. Bye.
Just like that, he's gone again.
This is what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my final question for you all, it's fine. 200th anniversary, is we'd like to look towards the future. As we're playing the games, it's always what's coming up, what's going to change. So who is your dream villain that you want to see show up in Marvel Champions?
I have a particular role here on the show. Steve likes to call it everyman. That's my job. I'm the everyman, which I think, Steve, tell me if I'm wrong, but you just mean village idiot, right?
Oh.
I'm supposed to react in such a way like the common person would to all these things. And as such, I'm actually not all that steeped on the lore. So which is why someone like Mike can write a script that dupes me into saying that something is true when it's not, or I can get corrected by some of our favorite minions out there. Like when I make up a story entirely fictional about, was it Yellow Jacket? That Scarlet Rhodey was like, oh my God, someone's got to fix this problem.
Yeah, it was Yellow Jacket. Yep.
Yeah. So it was because of that failure of mine, Steve, I think is how we got guests coming on to do our Shadows of the Past, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
That was kind of the start of that, repair work from Scarlet Rhodey. Thank you, by the way. So what I really, really want is not necessarily a particular individual villain, but I've said it a number of times on the cast. I would like more prominent female villains to appear in this game. There's plenty of minions and nemesis and stuff, but actual villains, there's Hela, there's Nebula. Who else do we got?
Proxima,
but she's part of a pair.
Right. Yeah. She's so, I first started thinking about that with Madame Hydra, and way back then, I'm like, this would be an incredible actual villain. So I would just like to see that net bigified as FFG moves forward, as this game moves forward with its villains, because we've done a lot of lore on female minions and nemesis and villains and stuff, and they just seem awesome, right? So that's my dream. It's nothing specific. That's why I thought maybe, Steve, I should go first, because I bet you and Mike have, like I said, an actual answer to the question.
Oh, that's a good answer, though. That's a great answer.
Okay, so what I would like, and this ties into the whole community and playing with friends and playing with more people, is I'd love to see an epic multiplayer scenario that would involve someone like Galactus, or these massive threats, right? We have them for Lord of the Rings, we have them for Arkham Horror. I don't see why we couldn't have them for Marvel Champions, a Gen Con of this or that, right? These villains that are so huge that you can't just boil it down to a solo game, right? Or a 2-player game where you could have Galactus or the Swarm, or So I think something huge like that would be really fun, and that would be my dream villain, because then I could sit down with 10 people and not just 4, and have that great con experience. So.
Great idea.
That's really cool.
I think all the listeners are saying, oh, he's going to say the Magus. And yeah, you know what? I would not be unhappy with the Magus. He'd be awesome. He's amazing. Possibly even stronger than Galactus. But I think I'm going to go the opposite of Steve. Steve wants grandiose. I'm going to go really small. And Sinister Motives is a fan favorite. People love it. I'm thinking if another spidery thing comes out, throw in Paste Pot Pete, another community favorite.
There he is.
Yep.
What does he do, Mike? What would mean?
He's got literally it's literally a super soaker filled with glue.
His name gives it away.
He just walks around with a can of glue, right?
Yes, but he's got a backpack for it.
Oh,
and
no one ever told me he had a backpack. He's
he's got a backpack with this thing. He's legit. He's got a costume, and Spider-Man, there's in the comic, he goes, "Who are you supposed to be?" Because I'm Paste Pot Pete, and then Spider-Man just falls on the floor laughing.
See, that's why he deserves to get punched and beaten.
It is. It is. But so I think he needs to be in this game.
Yep.
Puppy.
A villain or a minion? I would like him to have his own mod set.
Yeah.
Either.
He would need like
Well-
custom sticky tokens, right? You've been pasted. You put a little paste token on them or something.
Yeah,
And it
and
does
if they were
something.
tacky, if they were actually tacky,
Ooh,
oh yeah, we got to get Molly on
Physically
that.
sticky tokens that
physically sticky tokens. Yeah,
ruin your
Oh my
cards
God,
the minute they touch them.
for all the non-sleevers. Yeah,
Yeah.
truly villainous.
Face Pop Pete ruining everyone's collections.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all for, letting me come here and crash in your lair for a little bit and be a part of your 200th episode. I just wanted to swing by, but I'll return the key here. And next time I'll
I was
knock.
just kidding before, man. Keep it. It's fine.
Oh,
Yeah, just keep it.
I appreciate it.
We love having you in the lair. Absolutely.
I love stopping by. It's just a great place. I love what you've done with the place. Honestly, it's just
Thanks.
it's gorgeous. Do you have an interior decorator? Is that all you three, or
You like the spots? The spots everywhere? Are they gorgeous?
I'm just glad we finally got the smell out.
yeah,
Yeah.
does not smell. Even from last time I was here, it's different on what you're doing.
Oh, we
Yes.
got rid of the sharks a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were
Yeah.
kind of bringing some funk. It's true.
Yeah, and it's very 90s too. You need to update the place every once in a while, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But thanks, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Well, thanks for having me, and again, congratulations on 200. And we can't wait to see what you do with the next 100.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Senator. Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
Ow.
We had 2 people show up. That was fun.
All right, what's next? We're on segment 10. Hey,
Is Noah gonna question where Mustafa went or came from? Is he just like always hiding out in the lair?
we'll
Anyways.
ask him again at 300.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
He's superpowered. Don't forget.
Oh, right. Yeah, what is next? Segment 10. Okay. We are going to play a game. I don't know how this game is going to go. It's like a trivia game. It's a game show. It's Daniel versus Mike.
Oh,
It's
well, I can tell you how it's going to go.
Oh no.
No,
I'm going
I
to get
think
my arse kicked by Mike.
I don't think so. I think this is even
Oh.
footing between the two of you for this one.
How are you handicapping Mike?
Well, this is going to be a classic Wheel of Misfortune style game.
Oh, I like
Okay.
it already. Okay.
Where I'm the host, and this game relies on spelling and typing that I've done.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
wait. Say that again, Steve. That
Yeah,
spelling and typing that you've done?
that's based on me. Yeah.
Oh,
So we're gonna play a little bit like the game Hangman, where you, with
Okay.
a word or a phrase.
oh
There's gonna be a
no.
bunch of blanks. You have to fill in the letters. You got to try to guess the word or the phrase. I can
Okay.
give clues as we go along.
Okay.
This will take a little bit of maneuvering with the chat, our chat window, so you can see the blanks and stuff. And you'll guess a letter.
Okay.
I will attempt to add it to the spelling, and then you can guess the word if you think you can get it. And then if you get it wrong, the next guy goes.
No.
Just back and forth, okay?
So, Steve, are these words as you spell them or words?
So they are words as spelled, but as you give me the letters, if I put them in the right spot, I'm going to try to just do it by memory, okay?
Oh,
So once we get started, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, cool.
So there could be typos or spelling mistakes in there.
Mike, good luck.
Yeah.
All right. Steve, this is great because I have zero idea what to expect.
Me too.
This is
So,
awesome. All
okay.
right.
Because you guys spell words different than we do
All right. So
to begin with.
hint number 1, okay? Every word in the game is the name of a card in Marvel Champions. Okay?
Okay.
So
Okay.
all right. We're playing Wheel of Misfortune Marvel Champions Edition.
Got it.
All right. And we're going to start with this is a core set card. Daniel, why don't you go first?
All right, Steve. Steve, why don't you give me an E?
Do you have to buy vowels?
Nope.
Okay.
This is more like Hangman than Wheel of Fortune, really. There are 2 E's. Position 6 and 8.
Okay.
And now Daniel can guess the word if you want to try it.
Wow. All right. I hit twice it. I got 25% of the letters.
Well done.
So for folks who are listening on the audio, if you were to check out our YouTube channel, I will be showing this on the screen on the YouTube. So you might want to flip over to it just for this segment. I know that's not ideal for everyone, but you could go over to our YouTube channel, which Mike will tell you about, 2 hours from now, and you'll be able to follow along.
And folks, Mike and I in this game, the podcast, promised to take 4 seconds to solve the clue after getting our letters.
Hey, this is Editor Steve from the future. I've decided to leave the following segment in the audio because you might not have the time to go over to the YouTube channel, but you just want to listen and hear us play. So if you don't want to listen and hear us play, I suggest skipping ahead 15 minutes to time 1:47.
An hour and 47 minutes.
And you'll be on past this segment. You could go back to the YouTube and watch it there if you like. Thanks.
Mike, I don't know. I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to let it ride for your next letter, Mike.
So I get to say a letter and then guess? Okay. Let's go with M, because there's lots of Marvels.
Okay. There's 1 M.
One
Position
M?
4.
Oh, I don't know yet.
All right, Daniel, you can give a letter, and then I'll give you a clue. How about that?
Tell you what, just give me an R, Steve.
Ooh, there are no R's.
I know it.
He knows it by no R's? Okay, so I have 4 seconds to come up with... I'm out.
Steve, I would like to solve the puzzle.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Is it Stampede?
It is Stampede.
Oh!
Very good.
Boom!
1
Breaking
point
and
for
taking
Mike.
points.
Mike gets one.
Wait a minute. What a surprise. I lost a trivia contest about Marvel.
Yeah. Well, I figured as an English professor, you could spell.
No, I can't spell.
Okay.
You know, the reason I can't spell is I've been reading so much of your writing, Steve, that I don't know what's right and wrong anymore.
Blame me. Sure.
All right.
Let's move on to number 2. This is going to come from the Mutagen Formula Pack.
Mutagen. Oh.
It's 2 words. Can you tell there's a blank there? It's the lower one. Yep. 2 words.
6 letters, 4 letters?
What?
Right? Or 7 letters, 4 letters?
7 letters, blank, 4 letters. And Mike, since you won, you get to start.
Cool. I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Oh, okay.
Is it Pumpkin Bomb?
It's Pumpkin Bomb. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. All right.
Wow.
Okay. Let's just move on to number 3. We'll keep this going. This is from the Wrecking Crew pack.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let Mike go first because he got it right.
Oh, okay. Let's start with E. I don't have it off the bat. That's 6 letters.
6 letters. He's got an E. There's an E in there.
Huh. Go ahead, Mike. What do you got?
4 seconds.
Yeah, no. Pass.
All right, Daniel.
Oh, he passed? All right. Well, I'm going to say... give me an S, Steve.
There are no S's.
There are no S's?
No. You can still guess the answer if you want to try it.
1 word?
1 word. From the Wrecking Crew pack.
Oh, okay. Can I give Mike a clue? Well, no, I just can't remember it, but it's like, all right, you know what? Pass. We said 4 seconds. Sorry.
Shall I give a clue? Since we both
Mike, you can't give a clue to Mike.
Okay. All right. Because he has points. All right, Mike, guess a letter.
C.
C?
Yeah.
There's no C.
Z like is in Z?
No,
C as in
C as in
ABC.
C.
Crockery.
Crockery? Oh.
Yeah. No C. No
Okay.
Z either. We're going to double up.
Nope.
There's no C or Z.
Nope, got nothing on this.
Okay. Daniel, can I give you a clue? It is the name of a treachery card.
Okay. Sure. Oh,
So right now all we have is an E in the
Yep,
second to last place.
Marvel. I'm going to say M for Marvel.
There are 2 M's.
No.
What?
Oh, Pummel.
Pummel is correct. Very
Nice.
good. Very
Take
good.
that, Mike.
Yeah. Take that, Mike. All right.
Oh, look who needs letters to solve the clue.
Yeah, Pumpkin Bomb. That was good, man. If I had gone first, I guarantee you, folks, I would not have jumped on Pumpkin Bomb. That was good.
All right.
What do we got next?
All right. Rise of Red Skull modular pack. Rise of Red Skull. It's 2 words. It's 5 letters, 6 letters. Daniel, you're going first.
Rise of Red Skull, huh? Okay.
Yep.
5 and 6.
Yep.
Give me an A, sir.
All right. There's definitely some A's.
Okay. That's comforting.
1 in each word.
1 in
Oh.
each word.
Position
No,
4
right.
and
Oh
position
man,
4.
he already knows it.
Well, you still your turn to guess.
No, I don't already know it. I thought it was something else, but I thought it was a Hydra something, but there's no A at the end.
Dude, yeah, pass.
Pass. All right, Mike.
But I'm gonna get it.
Do we need a clue? No, it's just Mike's first try. Oh, it's
This is
Mike's
Mike's
first
Yeah,
try.
this is my first try. Okay, let's
Okay.
go S.
There is an S.
It's an S.
So the S is at the end of the first word.
Ha ha. I don't play enough of this one.
Now, Steve, are these encounter cards? It could be anything.
No, only cards that we would have talked about on the show. I'm not going to do any hero cards. So they're
All right.
encounter cards, villain cards, stuff like that, right? Just show stuff that we would talk about.
Okay, I pass.
All right. So I'm going to give you a clue. It's
Okay.
the name of a minion.
Name of a minion.
Oh my god.
Damn it, he knows it already, doesn't he?
No, it doesn't work.
Or does it?
Or is it Steve
or
spelling?
does it? Is this Steve spelling?
All right.
It might
so,
just be the game. It might just be the editing here.
all right. So the Red Skull. There's a bunch of. You know what? Give me a. Steve, I want a V, as in Victor.
There's no V's. There's the correct posting.
Is it Zola's mutate?
Correct. Zola's mutate without punctuation. So
Yeah, there was not enough letters in that last one.
that was an error. Yeah,
That's
that's why I
okay.
screwed my typing up. Yeah,
No, but that's part of the game, right?
it's part
That
of the
is-
game.
That is one of
how
the
would
few
Steve-
minions.
How would Steve have done this?
That is
Yeah.
one of the few minions I remember because I had to rhyme it.
Oh,
Wait, I had to sing it then.
that's right. That's right. I had to go with Zola. Something Zola. All right, Mike, you ready? Here we go.
That's tricky.
So we are now into
Into
the Kang scenario pack, number 5
Hey.
here, and it's a very large 1, 2, 3,
Ah,
8 letters. It's 8 and 4.
oh my goodness. Okay, is there an E?
Yes, there is an E. Let's see if I can put it in the thing right. It's the second character.
huh?
That's it?
That's it. One
That's really
E.
E.
1 E.
Uh,
It's 8 and 4, huh?
2 words?
Yes.
Okay, I pass.
All right, Daniel. Pick a letter. Don't overthink it. Keep going.
Don't overthink it.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't want to waste any time.
You sure there's only one E?
There's only 1 E.
Okay.
Something's wrong.
All right, there's only one E in Steve's spelling. How about let's go another vowel. Could I please get I?
You cannot. There are no I's.
There's no I's.
No
What
I's.
the heck?
So I'm going to say if you don't get the letter right, we just immediately skip to the next guy.
Yeah.
All right,
Perfect.
Mike, you're up.
Is there an A?
There is an A. There you go.
What? So blank EA,
Yep, blank EA.
5 letters, and then another word.
Yep.
And this is from Kang?
Yes. The Kang scenario pack.
What?
I
mean, half those cards have Kang in the title, and there's clearly no Kang here.
There's no Kang here.
Okay, I pass.
All right, Daniel. All right, I'm going to give you, it's a minion. It is a minion.
Minion. And it's 2 words?
Yep.
Oh, okay, then I know.
All right, well, do you want to guess the letter, or do you just want to go for it?
I'm going to go for it.
Okay.
The only thing that I can think of that has EA there is Death Hunt, like 9,000.
Correct.
Oh,
Death Hunt,
9,000?
Yep, with the numbers.
That's funny.
That's
funny.
tricky that you would ask us to make numbers.
Yeah, well, of course, I'm a villain.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I'm like
that.
EA.
There's no EA or I in that last word. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
When I was with you, Mike, I was like, all right, I'm trying to. What are all the Kang variants in that set? And I can think of the Conqueror.
Very good. All right. I
also like how there's not enough letters in Death Hunt.
Yep, it's Death.
Oh, there is. Oh yeah, Death. Yeah.
It's Death Hoon 9. Yeah. I went on the EA there. That was it.
All right. I'm going to skip ahead a tiny bit, okay?
Okay.
So we don't have to do all of these that I have, but all right. So we're going to move on, and this is a nemesis, okay?
A
nemesis. And Daniel, you have it to start with. It's a 3-letter word followed by a 5-letter word.
I'm gonna go with. Why don't you give me, please, an E?
You got it. Right there.
It really is
the end of the first word.
I'm gonna guess the Zizix.
It is not the Zizix. Mike?
Oh my gosh, I have to remember all these little nemesis. It's definitely the Magus.
It is the Magus.
Oh, it's the Magoos.
It's the Magoos. Yeah.
No.
Yep.
All right. Good job, Mike.
Okay. Mike got that one. Also writing down the scores. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to skip ahead a little bit again. And here we go. Let's see. So, Mike, this is you. And this is coming from the Hood pack.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, let's go.
And that's five letters, space 6 letters.
Yep, 5, then 6.
There's a lot of cards in that pack. Okay, let's go. Let's do O. Let's start with O.
Nope, no O's.
Well, I guess it's your turn, Daniel.
Wow.
It's not his pistol.
I mean, Steve's a bad speller, but I don't think even he would miss up Mr. Hyde. So, is he from that? He's from Hyde, isn't he?
He is from that, yep.
Yeah. Geez, I'm gonna go T. Give me a T.
No T's.
Wow.
Whoa.
Mike?
Is there an A?
There is an A. There's one A.
Oh.
The second letter of the first word.
Oh, bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
So many of those sets have these minions. Oh, I bet you it's one of those minions.
You think it's a minion?
Well.
And where's this from again, Steve?
No, I'm going to pass.
Okay.
Good.
I can narrow it down. Are we at narrow down time?
I started, so no. Daniel gets one more pick.
Daniel gets one, and then we'll narrow it down. Okay, go ahead. Pick a letter.
Give me an M.
Okay. There are 2 M's.
There's 2 M's?
2 M's. The first letter of each word.
Okay, so this is clearly spelled by Steve again. Madame Mask.
Yes.
Nope.
What?
What?
That is. Oh no, because there's no other A in there.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to narrow it down. It's the name of a treachery card. Mike's turn.
E?
Mike's turn.
There is an E. All the way at the end.
That's Madame Mask, but you forgot all the A's in the 6th letter of the
it's not. It's not.
What the hey? Okay, wait. Ah. Wait. No.
Okay,
Hang
so
on.
the smoke is thinking. Okay.
Hang on. Nope. It's the 70s porn treachery. It's
It is.
It's Magic Muscle.
Yes, you got it.
The 70s porn treachery.
Yes. Okay. Shall we do one more of these?
Sure.
All right, we're going to do our last one. Who won that? Mike did, right? Yeah.
Mike. Well, of course Mike won.
All right, so
He's
this
the
is
only one I know who knows 70s porn.
That's right. Oh. All right, so we're into Sinister Motives. I'm going to move on. Sinister Motives, Mike. It's on to you.
Okay,
Blank,
we're gonna
blank.
It's 2 words, 4 letters, blank, 2 letters.
What?
I.
No. Daniel.
K.
No. Mike.
There's got to be a vowel in there. E.
Yes. There is an E in the second spot of the first word.
Wow.
Go ahead, Daniel.
S.
No. Mike.
A.
Yes. The last letter of the first word has an A. Blank
Where's
E,
this
blank
from?
A. Sinister Motives. Campaign box.
Sinister Motives.
This is gonna have another number in it.
Would I do that twice?
Yes. Pass.
Daniel.
L.
Nope. Mike.
You were thinking hello, weren't you? Wrong box.
Wrong box.
Is there an O?
No.
Oh, he is.
Daniel.
He did do it.
I'll give you a clue after this. Who started? Who went first? Mike did. Okay.
Mike.
Daniel, one more letter here, and then we'll see.
M.
No. All right, Mike. It is a treachery card.
Okay.
Is there a C in it?
There's no C. Daniel, I'm going to give you an additional clue.
Okay.
This is from the Mysterio scenario.
Oh. Steve, can I get a V as in Victor?
Yes, you can. First letter of the second word.
Deja vu.
You got it.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Nicely done.
Well, there we go. So folks on the recording of the audio show probably heard the first one and then the last one. If you're really interested in seeing the rest of it, go over to the YouTube, watch the game. We only do 8 of these, so you can scroll over to it, but it's more visual. You really want to be watching it. So check out our YouTube to see the rest of the game.
Oh, you cut out my big moment?
I didn't cut it out. I just featured it in one spot. Yeah. And actually, probably what I'll do is I'll feature this segment in one of our little side thingies, too. So you don't have to watch the whole show. You could just watch this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can watch lots of stuff on our YouTube channel, too. So, well, that was fun, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. That was great.
Yeah. I didn't even screw it up too much.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah. So, before I tell you what the prizes that you've won for winning the game, we have a soundbite here from our friends Rowan and Will.
Oh, what
hey, people that I invited on the show.
Yeah. So let's give a listen.
This is Rowan.
And this is Will.
We want to congratulate you on your 200th episode.
We know that it's hard work representing those poorly and criminally misunderstood, but keep up your efforts.
Oh,
wow,
thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Short and sweet.
That's right. All right, the winner.
They're so great. They're so great.
Yeah. I'm glad that we've had them on a few times. So
had them on, met them in real life. They're just absolutely wonderful.
And there's hope to see them at Con Heroes. So
yeah.
All right. So the winner of our game, which was Mike.
What?
Yeah.
What an absolute surprise.
So the winner gets the home game version, and this is where I will come to your house, and you have to feed and take care of me. Yay!
Oh, is he potty trained?
Nope.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Let's move on to something else.
Yeah.
Segment. What are we? 11?
My God, look at this. We're flying.
What's this? Hey, it's a soundbite from the winning hand.
I went on their show. Good stuff. Why don't we listen?
Today we are here with the Winning Hand crew, and we are going to talk about an encounter card for the first time to celebrate this 200th episode of Critical Encounters. The card we are discussing is Overwhelming Force. It is a treachery card from the standard 2 set. It reads, when revealed, discard the highest cost upgrade or support you control. If no card was discarded this way, this card gains Surge. It has a boost ability. Give the villain 1 additional boost card for this activation, and it has 2 boost icons in addition to that boost symbol.
So the art definitely does look overwhelming. It's Spider-Man fighting Electro. So he's got, electricity, lightning bouncing off everywhere. The colors contrast really well to Spider-Man's red. It engulfs the entire frame, which I very much enjoy. So it really gives off that kind of overwhelming feeling. I think it works for exactly what the title of the card is.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I love this art. I think it's really great. You feel the pain of the electricity hitting Spider-Man. It's really right on theme, I think. Overwhelming Force, it's supposed to hit you and hit you hard, and you're supposed to really feel it. I think the heroes really feel this one. The electricity is all over from the art. It discards the highest cost upgrade or support you control, which is often painful. That's your Quinn Carrier, your Avengers Mansion. All those crucial things that you have, they go out the window. So that's great. If you're Quicksilver, there goes your friction resistance.
War Machine, really there goes your chassis.
Yeah. There goes my symbiote suit.
Exactly.
Usually
it's a great one to slap against the heroes. And the boost ability is also really bad. So an additional boost card on top of 2 boost icons, nasty.
Very, very nasty, especially in Standard 2, because that gives you another chance to get overkill, which may screw up those dumb heroes.
What about power?
As far as the power of this goes, I think it lives up to the name. Whenever it is revealed, those devilish heroes always lose something very important to them, and I think that's really the mark of a good encounter card. It's never wasted.
100% agree. So in this rapid fire episode, we've done art, theme, power. Now let's combine the fun and the final score and just run it down. I will start. It's awesome. It hits the heroes where it hurts the most. It hits them hard. Even if it whiffs, it surges, so it's never a complete waste. I love seeing a good hero get slapped down with this, like we talked about. War Machine, Quicksilver, any of those heroes. They can eat their words and get hit with overwhelming force. I give this 9 out of 10.
I think I'm going to have to agree. I'm going to have to give this a 9.5 out of 10. It's nearly a perfect encounter card. Any hero who's dumb enough to try Standard 2 will always feel the wrath of this card at least once.
I'm also going to give it a 9. It really does just feel like a huge slap in the face, like you mentioned before. Even if you don't have a high cost support or upgrade, like this is just getting rid of any upgrade or support you control. Having 2 boosts in addition to another boost card, yeah, this wouldn't be fun to be used against, but it is fun. It is a fun card overall to see.
So overall, we love this card from a villain's perspective. And from all of us at Winning Hand to you at Critical Encounters, congratulations on 200 episodes. That is an incredible achievement. And hopefully you managed to discard plenty of hero supports and upgrades along the way. Congrats, guys.
Congrats.
Very overwhelming.
That was stellar. Now, Steve, I'm a little bit worried because do they always do bad guy cards or are they mostly good guy cards?
No, that's the first encounter card they've ever done in honor of us.
Thank goodness, because those are 3 informed gentlemen that all could take my job.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I do.
That's like a taste of the show, right? Like that's the show over there. So,
that sounds awesome. That was great.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. And coming up in the future, we will be having a Boom Guy on our show. So we'll get a chance to chat with
Great.
him. Awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like the music. I like the format. That's fantastic.
All right. Segment 12.
Whoa. The penultimate.
This is a good one. This is probably the one the community's been waiting for. We made you wait hours. I love it.
Hours.
This is the survey. Survey results.
Wait, Mike, what survey are you talking about?
Steve sent this survey out and people filled it out. And I haven't read it yet. So this is going to be totally new to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah. we asked folks to take the survey. People took the survey. This might be the survey that we have had the most amount of answers on.
So 6?
8.
8? Oh my god.
So I'm gonna run through. I'm gonna ask you guys what you think that some of the answers might be, or what your personal answer. Maybe you would give us your personal answer. We see if you meet up with the community. I will do that for a little bit, and then we'll just sort of all talk about the answers at a certain point. Okay.
Sure, that's fun.
All right. So we started with some easy stuff. What is the community's current favorite scenario to play? So this is sort of like the community's top 3. What do we think, Daniel? What do you think is one they might have given as an answer?
All right. So, I think that everybody enjoys, I'm going to choose the one that I played live with a friend of the show, James, who's Darcy on Discord, and 2 other folks. Talked about it before. I think Mansion Attack.
Oh, very good. Mansion Attack was the number 2 chosen.
Oh, wow. No, it was
I
had a lot of fun with them, so I just assumed it was fun in general.
Yeah, not wrong.
Right on.
Okay, what do you think, Mike, then?
I mean,
give us one.
Well, but I would have said that, would they have played the newer ones as much as the older ones? Are our listeners all caught up? I'm just going to go real simple and say mutagen formula.
Yep, number 1. You got it.
Really?
Yeah. Over 15% of the responses came in as mutagen. And that was the current favorites. And the number 3 on that list was Magneto.
Well, Steve...
Okay, that's really surprising.
Yeah. And current, right? So maybe everybody's playing mutants right now because, mutants are the big thing, and they really like that. So
now, what does it say about this game, Steve? You're a pundit. You're a learned man in this universe. Mutagen formula is number 1. Like, what does that say?
I think it tells us people want to be goblins.
Okay.
They want to be our goblins. No, I think mutagen is still it's still difficult. It's still a challenge. It has a lot of minions. It's doing some different things.
It's a big beat 'em up against an iconic villain.
Yeah, and there's some nostalgia there. Yeah.
Well, how about you two? When is the last time you played it? I mean, with all the content that comes out, all the new stuff, like, do you return to this one?
I haven't played it in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just really surprised that, and maybe this speaks to some other wider kind of meta thing, but I'm incredibly shocked by this answer because I think of everyone listening as not you're playing the most new thing, and like that's old.
See, that's what I thought. Like, it's old, which means everyone's got it. Maybe
everyone's
people aren't keeping up with every little box.
And I definitely have fond memories of it. I've never not enjoyed a game of that. It kicks my butt all the time, or did back in the day. But it's been a long time since I played it. I mean, it's a great scenario. So I was just really surprised to hear that. Okay.
Yeah, Mike might have a point. Maybe people don't have everything. So
no, sure.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm thinking the handful of nerds that listen to us, though. I mean,
yeah, they probably have it.
They probably have everything.
All right, so that was their favorite scenario. Who do we think they said was the hardest set of villains? Their top 3.
Ronan. Right?
Yeah.
Ronan made it.
Yeah, like 64% of the vote went to Ronan.
So Mike, let's go beyond Ronan. So
yeah.
Okay, who are the other end of campaign things?
End of campaign guys. There's Red Skull, there's Goblin Venom, Loki,
Magneto. I personally think Magneto's the toughest of the group, if you're not counting Ronan.
I'm going to go wild card in this one, Steve, and say Nebula.
Well, Nebula came in number 4 with 7% of the vote. Yep. So got Nebula's number 4, Ronan's number 1, and Mike, who are you going to say?
I thought Magneto.
Magneto's not on the list.
Wow.
Okay, so Nebula was number 4 at 7%. Loki at 3 with 9%. Venom Goblin with 16%. Then Ronan 64. Yeah.
Venom Goblin.
You said Magneto, huh? Let's see.
I mean, could just be it's the new thing. Not everyone has it.
Could be.
Yeah. Magneto did receive 1 vote.
The one person who has the pack.
Yeah.
Who's probably me.
No, interesting. Those are interesting results because I remember we talked about Venom Goblin and how you could kind of the way it's written cheese them a little bit to make them a little less hard. But yeah, okay,
yeah. All right. So then we asked people what difficulty are they playing it on, right? Because that can make a big difference. So what do we think? What's the most popular? We asked standard 2, expert 2, or something else.
I think standard is still probably the number one most popular way to play it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. 59.5%.
Yep. I know that, when I play these things first, my first ever run through of a thing, I want to know the story. I don't want to get beat down. I play standard.
Yep. And so do most people.
I just want to get a sense of the campaign and then realize, as we've talked about in all of our YouTube shows about our campaigns, we're like, guys, we really should have played this on expert.
Yeah.
That's expert's how you should play it.
I like standard when you're short on time.
Campaigns are designed for.
Yeah.
Keeping your hit points and but.
Mm-hmm. So then expert came in at a second place with 26% of the votes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Then it was standard 2 with 7% of the vote. One person said they play expert 2 as their favorite difficulty. And then we had a couple people, we had somebody say that they like to play with the expert villain, but without the expert modular set.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. And then someone else said they like to play expert with a little difficulty bump, like the Infinity Gauntlet or very difficult modular, something along those lines.
Sure. That just speaks to the beauty of the game.
Yep.
The adjustability of challenge is incredible in this one.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So then we went and asked folks for their favorite campaign box, the overall box, meaning the heroes that come in it, the campaign scenarios, the villains, like the whole box, right?
The way that experience works and all that, right? All of it.
Right.
Okay.
So this was a little difficult because of the way that there was a lot of ranking and sort of stuff like that. So, but overwhelmingly, the number one top spot for overall box was the Sinister Motives.
I was guess you didn't let me.
Yep. Unsurprising, but yeah.
Unsurprising. Yeah.
Okay. And then Rise of Red Skull seemed to have the most number 2 votes with number 1s added on. So that seemed to be the next overall favorite box.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
I would have really thought Mad Titan.
Well, Mad Titan Shadow did not get a single number 1 vote.
Wow.
No one chose it as their number 1 favorite campaign box. But it also did not receive any votes for their least favorite campaign box.
Okay.
Somewhere in the middle. And Rise of Red Skull also did not get a single vote for last place box. But all the other boxes, other than Mad Titan Shadow and Rise of Red Skull, did get a vote at some point.
That's really interesting.
It was their last one. Can we guess what the obvious last place vote was then?
Mike's favorite, Galaxy's. Galaxy's
so disappointed.
Galaxy's most worthless. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. I mean, in the middle was the core, Mad Titan Shadow, Mutant Genesis. They all sort of somewhere scored in the center. It was kind of difficult to work out all the points there, but could have gone anyway for 3, 4, and 5 spots. So, okay, so the same question, but just the campaign story and style, not the heroes, not even the villains, just the campaign story and style.
So this one more includes how XP works and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's specifically just how XP works.
Oh, interesting. Okay, then I really like the reputation track. I wouldn't be surprised if that one wins again.
It did win again. Yep.
Yeah.
Way out in front. Again, Rise of Red Skull made a strong showing for number 2, which was a little surprising to me as well. And maybe there's some nostalgia there. And the Galaxy's Most Wanted, again, had more votes for last place than any of the rest of them. And that's just based on the market. So
I think the
Really?
market's kind of lame. But
What?
yeah,
Oh.
sorry. My personal number one actually is Shadow because it's achievement based.
do it, get the thing. Do it, get the thing.
You'll get the thing. Like, you earn it. So.
Okay. And all the rest of the campaigns were somewhere in the middle. So,
sure.
It's really the tops and bottoms that are easy to look at.
I've never met anyone who didn't say high praise for the reputation track and that idea.
Well, we have a clip here. Shall we listen to? You guys remember Sanyo?
Of course.
Yeah. We have a clip from Sanyo.
Hey, Critical Encounters crew, this is Ryan. I've been on a couple episodes now, but I wanted to congratulate you guys on 200 episodes. That is awesome. I think you guys do an incredible job every week keeping the community satiated, even during all those dry spells that we've experienced in the past. I talk as if I've played the game for more than this calendar year. Either way, 200 episodes, that's great. I know that my favorite memory from the show is probably going to be witnessing the Weil debate live as we were recording the episode. That will stick with me for a long time. But I will also say that I just love when you guys talk about campaigns and have your big wrap up, because it's always a nice episode to listen to after I've experienced a campaign, to just think back to go like, was my experience the same? Maybe I was playing a villain wrong. Maybe I was playing a villain with just the right deck, and I can sort of like feel the opposite of however you guys felt. And the other thing that I really love about your show is that you have people that make the game on. That is so interesting to me, just to hear every layer of the process, whether it be how they design the game, the graphic design behind it, the typesetting, and just the inner machinations of how Fantasy Flight makes the game that we all come here every week to hear you guys talk about. So I am actually going to keep it brief this time and just say congratulations, and I hope to see you guys again sometime soon. Thanks.
Oh, thanks, Ryan.
Dang, beautiful. Thank you. And he brought up Weil, Steve.
What?
Oh,
I'll cut that up.
You know, the more I've thought about it, the more I have realized that, Steve, you and the people on your side of it all
are right.
You're so effing wrong about how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
So I'm just staggered by that.
Speaking of wrong, we asked people about their favorite heroes.
Oh.
Wrong. Ugh. Ugh. Right? Wrong.
Right, wrong.
Right, wrong.
I hope their three. I hope their favorite three are my favorite three.
All right. What do you think their favorite three are?
I don't know. Iron Man.
Not on the list.
Thank God. You know what?
Spider.
Thank you, community. Thank you. I'll remember
Spitter.
that.
What'd you say, Mike?
Spitter.
Also not on the list.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
So, okay. All
Just
right.
looking at their tops.
Who do
Pick
people
another one.
like? Now, do people like fun, or do they like overpowered? Do they like? You know, I shudder to think that Doctor Strange is a favorite.
So here's the question that we asked. For a moment, this will help. For a moment, let's pretend we like the so-called heroes. Who is your current favorite hero to play?
Ms. Marvel.
Also didn't make this list.
Well, I don't know.
What's interesting is that Mutagen formula does, but Miss Marvel doesn't. Okay,
I know.
That was a good guess, Mike. I bet people like Phoenix.
Also not on this list.
What are people playing?
I mean, people have there was a vote for Miss Marvel. There was a vote for Phoenix.
Sure,
you know,
okay.
like even like Quicksilver got a vote. I guess Miss Marvel
Well,
got
you know
two votes.
You know what,
but
Steve? When you tell me what the highest hero got for vote count, I'll know exactly who it is.
10.5% of the community voted for two different heroes. They tied.
10.5%.
Yes, voted for the two different heroes. There's two of them. They both tied at 10.5%.
Wow.
All right, then I'm gonna say, I'm gonna talk about myself here, Steve. I'm gonna go. They all thought it was Scarlet Witch.
No. Nope.
Storm.
Let's start at the bottom of this list. How about that?
Okay.
Build up. 5.3%. We had a tie between Rocket and
What?
Spider-Woman.
Wait, Rocket?
Rocket and Spider-Woman. Yes, Rocket and Spider-Woman.
Okay, one of those is actually fun to play. The other is Rocket.
I like Rocket. Rocket's fine.
He's a one-trick raccoon.
Yeah, it's true.
Whereas Spider-Woman, you can actually enjoy the... never mind. You know what? Play your own game, everybody. Love what you love. Right, Mike?
We'll move up a tier. 3 of these characters tied at 7.9%.
Okay.
And it's a trio of ladies.
Was I right with one of mine?
What was one of yours?
I said Scarlet Witch and Storm.
Storm is correct. Storm is in there. Yep.
Black Widow.
Black Widow is in there. Yep.
Oh, nice. Okay. She's my favorite.
And the last one is Rogue. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right. So our top 2 tied at 10.5%. Ironheart, Cyclops.
Weird.
Okay.
Current. A lot of X-Men getting played, right?
Right.
At
Okay.
least for Cyclops.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Here's a category I think that will be a little easier to answer, at least a few of them. Who's the most overpowered of the heroes currently?
Ironheart.
Number 2. Yep.
Yeah. Is Cyclops on there?
Who?
Is Cyclops on there?
Nope.
I don't know that I feel that Doctor Strange is anymore, but I bet people still feel that way. So I'm going to say he's number 1.
Yeah, he's number 1, 58.5%. Yep.
Yeah. But do you guys agree? Like, I've actually resented him when he came out, and then the game has gone on and on and on. He's good, but
I haven't gone back and played him in a while, so maybe I'll have to see if he holds up.
He's aged somewhat. So
I think handing out stuns, confuses, and toughs all day long still is gonna do pretty good in the game. I guess.
No, I'm not saying I'm just saying solo, you can have a more trickier time with him than maybe we thought when he first came out.
So number 3 is Spider-Ham at 13.9%, which is pretty amazing. And then there was some honorable mentions for Domino, Miss Marvel, Shadowcat, Wolverine, and anybody playing leadership.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, Will.
All right. Favorite aspect. What do we got?
Probably leadership.
Protection? I feel like we're undervalued, so it's probably leadership.
Yeah.
Well, justice and protection tied at 29%.
Wow.
And leadership came in at 21%.
Poor aggression.
Yeah, 16% for aggression. And one person voted for the pool aspect, which isn't out yet. So, at least at the time of this survey.
You know what's interesting about aggression? So, how do you make something that is about punching people in the face more interesting than just that? Right? Like, every other aspect has more nuance to it, right? Whereas, and I actually think aggression has more nuance to it too, but the fact that it's named aggression, it makes you think it's sort of a one-trick kind of thing.
Some people just want to hit stuff.
Yeah, I just feel like people think play-wise, it's the least interesting aspect. And maybe that's true, but I think it suffers a little bit from the mentality of its name and kind of, I don't know, like the limited directions it goes in. Like you can build protection decks in a number of ways. You can build justice decks in a number of ways. Leadership too. Like, but aggression is just how it's aggro decks. How fast can you punch the villain out? Right.
Right.
And so they're good decks, but yeah, I can see why they're the least favorite. So how do the designers make aggression more interesting?
I don't know. That's a question for the. Yeah.
But it will always be the least
probably
interesting or the least favorite of the aspects. Always.
So we've asked heroes and aspects. How about folks Favorite hero team. So we said, let's pretend that we're the heroes again. Which hero team is your favorite to play? And the options are things like Asgard, Avengers, Champions, Guardians, Shield, Web Warriors, X-Men. Right?
I see that kind of team. All right.
Web Warriors. They chose Web Warriors, right?
Web Warriors came in number 2.
Oh, okay. Then they chose X-Men.
They chose X-Men.
They definitely chose X-Men. Yep. And I didn't give like X-Force and that sort of stuff on there because I don't know. I guess we hadn't got there yet. So X-Men's number 1, like 42% of the vote. Web Warriors is 31. But who's number 3?
Avengers?
Oh, it's the Guardians. Guardians edged out the Avengers by a tiny bit.
Okay.
And then some people picked Shield. Champions didn't get any votes, and Asgard didn't get any votes. So
sucks cheer Asgard. Write in when Mike tells you how to reach out to us. What was I referencing with sucks cheer Asgard? What is that? What am I really saying? Trivia. You know what? That's just a literary trivia, Steve.
Okay, I believe you.
It might get him it might get him over to another podcast. Who knows?
Who knows? So we have a sound bite, a little congrats from our friend over at Into the Night podcast, Ray. So let's give a listen.
Hi guys, this is Ray, host of Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. To know her is to fear her, the Spider-Woman podcast, Predator and Prey, the Ucha podcast, and host monthly on Capes and Lunatics, the network there for Scarlet Spider. Just wanted to drop in a line to wish you guys and congratulate you on the 200th episode, a huge milestone. So a huge congratulations to the likes of Mike, Dan and Steve. See what I did there, Mike? I put you on top there. But it's amazing. I love your show. I'm so glad I have found it. And it seems like such a long time ago since we chatted on a podcast. But I've racked up about 500 games now of Marvel Champions, and it never gets old. I'm still finding some new things to do, finding new decks to build, that sort of stuff. I've even got the latest expansion, Next Evolution. I haven't even touched Cable and Domino yet, so that's kind of testament to, I guess, to how good this bloody game is. It's really good. So can't reiterate that enough. But yeah, just look, I love your show. I love the format of it. I love the tongue-in-cheek nature, and I love the rapport between all three of you. You guys have got something special going, as well as, you know, a lot of the stuff that happens in post-production too. So hats off to Steve for making it fun by being almost like an audio drama, you know, in some instances. So anyway, guys, just wanted to drop in my 2 cents and congratulate you on the huge milestone. Here's to 200 more. Here's to 500 more. Why not just crack the bag of sand, crack the grand. Hoping you guys reach 1,000. Anyway, all the best, and look forward to listening to many more episodes of Critical Encounters to come. Have a good one, guys. Catch you later.
That was awesome.
Oh, thank you, Ray. Something I really love about that guy. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Well, did you hear how he kind of sounded out of breath?
Oh, the pandering. Yes.
But he was all. Did you also hear all the sounds of Australia in the background?
Oh, I loved it. It.
I'm pretty sure he was running from one of the 6 million creatures there that can kill you instantly.
Probably.
Yeah, they're all poisonous.
Well,
yeah.
I've been so afraid of Australia since I've been able to read. So yeah,
so last week.
For a week I've been really afraid of it. No, the deadliest. Name a creature type. The deadliest one is there.
They're all there.
And I'm like, how do they even get there? I mean, it's like it's so bizarre.
So the fact that he can survive in that wilderness, I mean,
right. But it makes sense that he'd be running the whole time. He's saying nice things to us. But those were beautiful sentiments. Thank you, Ray, so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And if anyone can tell us why all the poisonous, deadliest creatures are in Australia, that'd be great.
Yeah.
There has to be like a zoological reason for it.
Well, shall we continue on?
Yeah, so yeah.
What state were we on? I don't even know.
Well, we're in the middle of our survey. We've got a few more questions to go, and then eventually we're going to read some thoughts from our listeners who submitted things. So let's get right back into some of these questions that we asked. We'll do kind of like we did before. I can read a question. You guys can debate the answers and see if you match up with the community. So,
all right, let's do it.
I like this one. If we could use the Infinity Gauntlet and snap away any one hero team, who would it be? Right, so the hero teams are those things like X-Men, Avengers, Guardians, that kind of thing.
I see. Okay.
Who?
I'm guessing this is why we brought up Sucks to Your Asgard.
We did ask people who their favorite hero team was,
and no one picked them.
Yeah,
I bet people really want to get rid of the X-Men.
You would think our listeners, being the villains and the minions that they are, would have voted for the X-Men, but no one voted for X-Men.
Really?
Yeah.
How about the Avengers then, so we can get rid of Iron Man?
No, nobody voted for the Avengers either. 0 votes for those two. Probably because there'd be no heroes left to play, I guess, maybe.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Like,
this is for the villains, right?
Yeah, it was for the villains. I mean, come on, people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, were they selfishly thinking about if they were heroes?
I don't know. Yeah, they must have been. They're definitely playing hero favorites.
Okay.
So because go ahead.
No, they said Asgard then, didn't they?
Yeah, their number one choice was with like 40% was Asgard, which is like 3 people.
Doesn't that just get rid of Thor, Valkyrie, and
maybe that's it?
Is that it? That's it, right?
Yeah, a bunch of allies.
Well, okay, but they want the heroes from Asgard gone, right? So that's not going to really have a devastating impact on the pool.
No, it's
Maybe
not.
Even if they said get rid of Asgard cards, it wouldn't matter that much.
Right.
So.
Take that, Thor.
Man, that's sad.
Wow. They didn't choose Gamma?
That wasn't a choice.
Okay,
well,
so they choose the champions then?
Yep, champions was our 3rd place with 13.5%. So there's some people who want to get rid of some overpowered heroes, right?
That makes sense.
Yep.
And then the Guardians is 2nd, right? So.
Yep, at 27%.
Right. That makes sense. Those are people who are looking out for the villains.
Yeah, not these Asgard people. So. Oh well. Okay. Well, we'll move on.
All right.
We asked them who is their favorite villain team, and there was a lot of choices. Like,
yeah, can you give us the choices, Steve?
Sure. There were things like, think of a villain trait. You've got Sentinels, symbiotes, mutants, Brotherhood, Sinister Six, Hydra, Badoon, Crossfire's crew, Sinister Syndicate.
All right, so that is a wide net. Okay.
Yeah, it's a very, very wide net. There's a lot of choices. So there was a good chunk to choose from.
Huh. Okay. All right. Mike, you had a guess?
Who's their favorite?
Yeah.
I mean, did you separate out the Sinister Sixes?
Oh, like Iron Spider, Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Sinister Six. Yeah, I think I did.
Well, I mean, what did their listeners say? I mean, you know what I'm going to say. Okay, let's say Sinister Six because they were thinking it.
Yep.
I mean,
that's right. That was the number one choice.
Would be
that was the number one choice.
Sinister Six, 47%. Yeah, like the Sinister Six.
Okay. Cool. I mean, that makes sense, right? Those are like a whole bunch of famous pop stars from the villain world.
Yeah, the Spider Rogues Gallery, Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery.
Yeah, I mean,
they like them.
They're known entities, even to like nerds, right? Like,
true.
I've heard of every Sinister Six person before the game, like playing this game. Right?
Even Craven.
Okay. And whereas I didn't know anything about Crossfire.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And so I think there's just like they've been around.
Like, there's a lot of villains that you know, right? They're very recognizable, but very few villain teams that the average person would know.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so number 2 with 13% was the Brotherhood of Mutants.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mutants,
I would have said
X-Men,
like
all
Black
that.
Order. Did Black Order get any votes?
No. Black
Oh.
Order did not get any votes.
Weird. All right.
And then tied for third with 7.9% were the Sentinels and the Symbiotes.
Oh, that's bizarre.
So people like giant robots or alien goo from space.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? There was a very interesting one vote for the spineless.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There was a bunch notables that got no votes, and those were our Mutates, the Kree, Criminals, Crossfire's crew, the Badoon, Acolytes. Nobody likes them, or they don't like them as much as the rest. So.
Crossfire's crew is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, the next two questions are awesome. They're so for us. We asked the peoples, which villain group do you want to see in the game? Now, before we guess what they said, do you guys have things? Because for me, hands down, Dark Elves. Hands down.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we don't really have any of those, do we?
And I want a whole thing about this. Was it the second Dark Elf War, right?
Right.
Yeah. Right. With no ever first. All right. So that's me. That's who I'm thinking of. What about you guys?
Again, I'm trying to find groups. Ugh.
I'd like to see AIM, the Advanced Idea Mechanics.
Okay.
We haven't seen them. They're the guys that wear like the yellow biohazard suits all the time. That's what their goons look like. But MODOK is part of them. So that would mean we'd get some new MODOK, and we haven't seen MODOK in forever. So I think AIM would be pretty cool.
Gotcha. All right. Mike, how about you? What are you hoping for?
Again, groups. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with that one.
Okay. Well, Steve, you're just like the people. They also wanted AIM.
Okay.
And then, now, this is interesting. The lead answer got 21% of the votes. So, and then it was 12% for the hand. Then
yeah.
Yeah, the hand.
Yeah. Then 6% for the Serpent Society and Thunderbolts each. And then votes for the following. So, Mike, we were struggling to find some groups. Here's some. Mafia, Kingpin, Organized Crime, Egypt Gods for Moon Knight, Apocalypse, Four Horsemen, Spine Full, Skrulls, Dark Elves, Horde Master, UFOs, Midnight Suns, Frightful Four, Symbiotes, Carnage Life Foundation, The Dark Avengers, as organized by Norman Osborn.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I should have chosen the Dark Avengers. I did know that.
Okay. Spineful was a good option.
Yeah,
that was
I
a good
love
one.
that.
And somebody said Dark Elves, Daniel.
Dark, yeah. Awesome. Those people are right.
Thunderbolts, I'm willing to bet was
Brave.
It was Brave.
Addercop.
Like Addercop posting many times. Just stuff in the ballot box.
Stuff in the ballot box. So that was villain groups, guys. What?
Oh wait, the Serpent Society. That's great. Those are all like snake themed villains, right? Like Diamondback and Cobra and whoever else. Like that would also be pretty fun. Yeah. So.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh wait, did no one choose Heavy Metal?
Those are the ones with like the animal.
Yes.
Guys,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh my god, that would be so great.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to just make that.
Yeah, I think so.
And by we, I mean Steve. So akin to this question, villain group is who's the villain you would like to see in the game, guys? I've answered this 100 times. I've said Madam Hydra as a main villain.
Yeah, I'm going to guess people want like Kingpin.
I mean, we just answered this question. Yeah, continue, Steve. You're right, because people do want Kingpin.
Yeah,
they do, but they also want someone else equally muchness.
Oh, the physician of fear, the dooming doctor.
Oh yeah,
yes,
the doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Doom.
So they were basically tied for first, and then that's it. But someone said Galactus as an epic multiplayer. That could be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, I could see that as an epic.
Yeah, like a blob that ate everything, or a dreadnought where everyone's pounding on him. Yeah,
like Galactus ate the universe. Yeah.
Steve, you'll have to explain this to me. Slide, he's basically a non-stick frying pan. I don't know what that means. That's one of the answers in the survey.
Yeah. It's spelled funny, right?
SLYDE.
I don't know who it is. I was hoping that it was like a anthropomorphic frying pan that was like part of Spider-Ham's universe, but it doesn't look like it. So,
Oh, that's too bad.
yeah, he's just some bad guy.
But you know what's not too bad, gentlemen? Hearing from another one of our adoring fans.
Oh, we have adoring fans. You're right, we do. Oh, this guy's been around before. We've heard this guy before. So
Well, let's hear it.
Hey, this is Thunderball from the Illuminati, formerly with the Wrecking Crew. Congrats on making it to 200. Tell Wrecker he sucks.
Ooh.
Thank you, Will.
Oh, thank you. Wrecker, we have a message for you. So
Yeah.
stop by the lair anytime.
The gauntlet's been thrown.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like serious fighting words.
That's right.
Wow.
All right. Well, let's move on to a couple more questions.
Is it my turn here?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, well, how about a hero you want to see in the game? Wow, I didn't have to look at this, and I bet you I know the answers. I know the top two that I'm sure people have said before I even finish reading this. Do you guys have thoughts?
I'm going to guess Moon Knight is one of them, and I'm going to guess Daredevil is one of them.
Daniel, any thoughts from you?
Oh, not really. What's Nightcrawler? I've been hearing his name a lot, and he's a hero, right?
Yeah, he's an X-Men.
Okay. I don't like X-Men. I don't want an X-Man.
Well, but it's what did the people want?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We care about the people, don't we? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they would say.
Well,
Daredevil makes sense.
Yeah, people have been clamoring for Daredevil since the beginning of the game, and yes, 25% of the answers was Daredevil. The next up was 11% with Nightcrawler. I'm surprised. I thought Punisher would make the list because people were all over him for a while, and maybe Venom, the Thompson version of Venom, kind of satisfied that lust for guns.
Oh, you know who I want to see?
Rocket too.
I would personally like to see Jessica Jones.
Yeah, she'd be good too.
She'd be a great hero.
Some others included Ghost Rider, Gwenpool, that was probably me, Loki, Moon Knight did make the list. I wonder who wrote Moon Knight. Superior Spider-Man and Winter Soldier.
Oh, I like Superior Spider-Man because that's the Otto Octavius version. Yeah, so we get a villain too. That'd be cool.
Okay. Well, there's only one question about heroes, so we're going to move on. How often are you playing at various player counts? Ooh. Okay, so we have the options were solo, 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, or like multi-handed solo.
Right. I think this game gets played a ton solo because it's just the nature of the world. And then after that, I think you have 2-player games.
I mean, it's so easy to just start a thing on Octagon when you're between things.
Yep.
You know, I have never played true solo with real cards.
Really?
Wow.
No.
Wow.
No. I mean, I hardly ever finish a true solo game. I'll start a little bit on Octagon, and I'm like, without the witty repartee of my friends and the the whole group dynamic, like when we play, like that's awesome. Like I'm just not all that fun to play with. So
by yourself?
By myself.
He gets into arguments with himself, and
and so I've never played it live, and I don't often do it. But I bet that's how most people probably play true solo.
Well, it turns out most people do play true solo. The 2-handed solo was tied with regular 2-player games.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
3rd player did come in quite a few times. A lot of sometimes and a lot of nevers. 15 players never play 4-player.
Oh.
But a few people say they play 4-player more often than anything else.
Oh, wow.
So look at that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I do manage a bunch of 4-player games. Our Friday night group, if we have 4 players, we play Marvel a lot of times.
Awesome. I'm most always at 3.
Yeah, 3 is a good number for it.
Love 3.
All right. Couple more questions here. We're nearing the end. And I'm going to ask this one. Which member of the podcast is the most villainous?
Oh, well, the obvious is you.
Yeah, it's Steve.
They did vote. They did vote for me, 40%. With Daniel, a strong 31% showing.
Wow.
And then Mike at 28%. Holy cow, Mike, you have them fooled because you are definitely very villainous.
See, the trick is to make sure Captain America punches one of you two first.
Yeah. So Steve's the most villainous just because he's got all of the passwords and the keys.
And I don't share them.
And you don't share. Why would you? Why would you share them with like the likes of us? So, yeah. So I agree with them, Steve. I agree with the people.
Yeah. I wonder if it would change their mind if they knew that I designed the Krampus modular set.
I think people know you did. You know, Krampus, I'm going to take us on a tangent here.
Please.
I was out talking to somebody and they said, hey, we're going to go to a Krampus festival, in a couple weeks here. And they started, somebody else at the table said, what's a Krampus? And I said, oh, like this guy with the silver branches and the root for you. And I started saying, whatever, just naming cards that you had made. And and the person going to the festival was all impressed and very excited to talk Krampus with me. So
love it.
Yeah, it was, and I immediately thought I gotta bust out some Krampus coming up here. So
it's almost time.
Yeah, that's right. Or it might be time by the time this comes out. So, all right, Mike, you take the next question.
All right. This is simple. Do you prefer early comics or modern comics?
What was the
there
cutoff
was
date?
actually only one right answer to this, as far as I'm concerned.
I didn't create a cutoff date. It was very vague.
Yeah.
All right, in your minds, guys. So I don't read these things. In
Let's
your
say-
mind,
let's
what
say
is the
pre-90s.
what is the mutter? Pre-90s
Let's say
early?
1990 is the cutoff.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
Okay.
So going by that, well, what do you think?
Well, Mike, I would say you're a modern guy, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the balaclava was free.
I was gonna say.
Oh golly. All right.
The ridiculous exposition. Yeah.
I could see Steve being an old school traditionalist kind.
Some of them. Yeah.
What do you think the readers or the listeners like?
I was expecting them to say the modern comics.
I was too, because isn't that where X-Men lives?
No, I mean X-Men have been around a very, very long time, but
Okay.
I kind of figured like all the movies got people into the comics, like a whole new generation and everything. So I was expecting the answer to be modern, but I know what people said, and they did not say modern.
48% said modern, and the rest, 51% said early.
Yeah, that's
Well, the movies though, aren't they all about early heroes? Like the movies are modern, but like the heroes in them have been around since like the 50s and stuff, right?
They have some of the storylines are from the modern era.
Okay.
Civil War is definitely modern.
And Guardians is modern, right? So,
Yeah.
So, all right. But like Spider-Man, and Captain America, the big heroes.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that there would be, because it's like, it's kind of also cooler to like the early stuff, right?
You think
It's like with bands. Like I liked them before they sold out. So
that was the end of our regular question.
what a fun survey, Steve.
Yeah. Now we're not done.
Oh,
because we asked a few other questions, but we're not going to get into them today.
Okay.
What we're going to do is going to use those questions that we asked to help us plan future shows, to invite guests on, to talk, maybe spur us to do some segments people want to see again. Other bits and pieces, we ask people like, what do you like? What would you like to see us do? That sort of thing. And we have taken all of that information, we have collated it together, and I've put it on this tablet that has this fuzzy pink case. So it's someplace safe in the layer. I'm sure it'll be okay.
No, it's in Spot World.
Oh, great. It also gave us a whole bunch of what's on your mind tonight, which we'll start using in future shows. Thank everyone for that.
Nice. It's just more pressure on me.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I have and I'm going to promise, moving forward, I'm going to make my what's on my minds tonight a little more Mustafian.
Whoa.
I'm just going to go for hours, and it's going to be from the heart, guys.
That is good, because when we asked people what was the biggest thing they wanted for the 200th show, overwhelmingly people wanted Mustafa villainous return to come back
No
on.
surprise. No surprise.
So, yeah. So that'll be good. I think you'll give the people what they want. They want more rambling philosophical tangents.
Got it. Got it.
All right.
All right.
Now, there are other questions. We did just ask people for some memories and favorite bits and pieces from the show.
Oh.
And we got a bunch of answers here. We're just going to sort of pick and choose ones we like. And unfortunately, I didn't write down who said what because it was too complicated with the way the survey was. So you know who you are if you said these things. So thank you. And
all right.
Yeah.
Should we just read them like kind of round robin here? Like,
yeah, I think that's the best way to go.
all right. Let's go in reverse villainous order.
All right, Mike, you're up.
All right. The in-depth backstories. You just want to give me the small one.
That's right. Yeah. That was villainous, Daniel.
And the next person said, I enjoy the in-depth roundtable you guys do with guests. It's great hearing the various opinions on the game. In general, though, just keep doing what you do. Been with you since the start and look forward to the new issue every week as it's what I listen to as I drive to the friendly local game store in Sterling. That's near me. Here's to the next 200. Thank you. Thank you, Virginian. All right.
Could Sterling be in the UK?
It could be anywhere. Yeah, it actually is not spelled like the Sterling in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
I just figured you typed it, Steve. But maybe this is from them.
These are cut and paste directly from the survey. Cut and paste.
Okay. All right. This could be Sterling. So anywhere Sterling.
Sorry, loyal minions. I'm not taking the fall for your spelling or typing. Not this time.
Welcome to the Sterling episode, everybody.
Yeah.
Steve, what's next?
I enjoy the game/TV show segments. Pawn Stars is a lot of fun. The dating game was fun, and the House Hunter episode was fun. If we ever get supernatural traits, it would be fun to have an episode like Ghost Hunters or something similar. Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
No, write that one down. Yep. All right.
Someone says, anything with lots of guests playing as different characters. Oh, yes. Yes, we love those too.
We do too. Yep.
Yeah.
We also got interrogation rooms parodies, and I love guest hosts for Shadow of the Past. We do too.
Yeah.
Because that's someone else doing homework.
We got great guests. Great guests.
Great guests.
All right. I just remember finding the podcast in the spring and summer of 2020 during the height of the first lockdown. I'd spend a lot of time taking walks around my neighborhoods and listening to the cast. It definitely helped me get through those tough days. So.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. You know, doing the podcast helped me get through those days too.
Absolutely.
Just being with you guys. Oh my goodness.
I think that's the spring I started with you guys.
Yeah.
Is it on?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Agree. Totally agree with that one.
Right. I love that listening to you three makes me genuinely laugh out loud. As you get older, it's pretty easy to become a serious old grump. But when I hear an outtake or a cheesy aside from one of you, I feel like I'm sitting laughing with friends, and that's good for the soul.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad that comes across.
We wouldn't. Yeah. I'm glad that some of those actually land.
Well, we're pretty cheeky fellas, so I get it. Yeah.
We know our audience.
We're also old grumps in real life. So that's the funny part. I think in real life, we're grumpy old men. I mean, I am for sure.
I had my old man yells at cloud incident recently. So, yeah.
Yeah. So.
My Avatar and my Disney Plus account is literally the old man from Up.
There you go. The Anachronauts episode was great. Similar vibe from the Goblin Gear one, too. On a practical note, I love the deeper dives into the more obscure lore. Probably like Balaclava, Mike. Knowing why a card is in the game helps with immersion. Totally.
It does. That's why we do the podcast, really, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's why we do it the way we do it. All right. Pawn Stars is among my favorite bits. Used to watch that a lot with my grandparents, so it brings up good memories, and it's hilarious. Oh, awesome.
Thank you.
Nice.
Good.
Lots
Glad
of
it
love for
works.
Pawn Stars. As a Kurt Wagner super fan, I really appreciated the Mystique breakdown, and I think her complicated past is a perfect example of why the villains can sometimes be more appealing than the heroes. I think they're usually more appealing.
Much more.
I think a lot more effort is put into their backstories, to be honest.
Now, who did the Mystique breakdown? I forget.
Me too. You're up now.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You guys are such villains. Just when I needed a pick-me-up. All right. But definitely thank you. Hey, who's Kurt Wagner?
Nightcrawler.
Okay, thank you. All right. I got two favorites, says another super fan. The first is the Zola song. Thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I originally thought this was a parody of the Weird Al song Yoda, but then I realized that itself is a parody of Lola. Yes. So thank you for helping me discover a new song along with your version. I also love the Pawn Star bits. As a history nerd, I've watched a lot of the actual Pawn Star show, so I love your take on it. Thank you. Thank you.
I love that we're broadening musical horizons for with our ridiculousness. All right. I love how you kept Caleb in Spot World. Please let him out from time to time, though, as I really love his design. I think he's free at this point. He has escaped. So
he has escaped.
He's out. Yeah.
Yeah, because someone let him out.
I paid the price for it. So
I saw the show. All right.
All right, here we go. Someone else likes all of Mustafa's anger about how easy the game is. Considering he hasn't played anything post Kang.
Red Skull Kang, yeah.
But the best kind of anger is the kind that comes from not knowing what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is America. Speaking of America, trivia, says another one. That's true. Trivia is fun.
Hey, that was this episode.
Yeah.
The songs are incredible. They keep me absolutely rolling, and Zola continues to be a big part of my regular playlist.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's going to be hard to top that one.
Daniel. I almost want to apologize to this person. All right.
That is, yeah, that's a great one. My most memorable episode is where our villainous team was looking for a new hideout. If I recall, that was one of the Hood encounter sets. Streets of Mayhem? Yes, it actually was Streets of Mayhem. Nice. Where our lovable villains, heroes, were visiting each environment with a real estate agent. She was fabulous, by the way. Yes.
Yes, she was, Mike.
Yes, she was.
She absolutely is fabulous. Well written and executed. Thank you. Yeah, I've talked about this with some people who approach me at conventions and stuff. Like they love some of these extra gag bits, and they are so fun to write. And that's a big reason why I'm on this show. Like, just being able to have that creative freedom is awesome, and it's a blast to do.
And luckily, we've got a whole lot more of Mojo TV to watch coming up.
Oh, I know, and just so I can't even write down all of these ideas. So
right on. I love the guys messing around with the goblin gear. That was fun.
That was you and I, Daniel. That was
great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you weren't following our safety precautions. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here is our last one. You ready for the last one? It's a little sad. I actually really enjoy when the question that usually comes up at the end of the episode is nonsensical but still answerable. Kudos to Mike. I also like when you guys commit to a bit, like having Daniel sucked into a portal and he just doesn't speak for at least half the episode until he comes back. Oh, put a portal in right here.
It's so funny how much effort we put into stuff like that.
I know, right?
Love it.
Well, since Daniel's gone for a little bit, Mike, shall we move on to our last segment?
Holy crow. It's almost sad.
Yeah. I guess maybe we should let Daniel back out before we do the last bit, just so he's here around for it.
Oh, yeah, it's contest, isn't it? Doesn't he have the stuff we have to give away?
Well, we're going to make him pay for the shipping at least, so...
Okay, yeah, we need to have him back. We need his credit card.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Daniel, come on back out.
Not funny, Steve.
It's a little funny.
Well,
see, he blamed you because you're the villainous one.
Right. I know, right?
I know Mike would never have anything to do with that.
All right. Segment 13.
Right, Mike?
Nothing at all. But we'll need your credit card for a second.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
Steve, contests?
Contests, yes. So we have some organized play packs to give away. So what we have done is we have a very easy survey for you to answer. We will share the links on all our social media, everywhere you can find it. We'll leave it open for a week or so. It will close when I decide it will close, so you better go and answer the questions as quick as you can. Real easy. One question. What has been your favorite issue of Critical Encounters? You just write it in, and we'll randomly choose some winners. There's also a couple other, if you do win, which which prize would you prefer, and to make sure to include your contact information. And listen to the show, to make sure that if we call your name, you hear it, so that you can win. So what are we going to give away is the question.
What are we going to give away, Steve?
Thank you. So we have 3 sets of, these are the round 1 and 2 organized play kits. My friendly local game store found a whole bunch in the back, and they gave them to me.
Oh, nice.
So I'm giving them away. These are the alt arts for Black Widow, Miss Marvel, Thor, Get Over Here, Stealth Strike, and Tackle. So you'll get a full play set of all those cards I named, and we have 3 packs of those, so we can give away 3 of those.
That's cool.
Yeah, but we're not done. All right, we have 3 more things to give away, and these are the Gen Con 2023, so the most recent Gen Con, resource promo cards. These are the strength, energy, and genius with the alternate art on them of Captain Marvel and Spider-Man. So you will get Captain Marvel and the Spider-Man alt art, and we have 3 sets of those to give away.
Sweet.
So,
okay.
6 winners.
This is the print and play stuff, but professionally done by FFG.
Yes, these are what FFG gave out at Gen Con 2023. They had printed.
Nice. Okay.
So just fill out the form. We will randomly draw 6 names, 1 entry per person, 1 win per person. That's it. That's the contest. Real easy.
Wow.
Love it.
Whew.
It's not very villainous of us to give these things away, but I guess it's a way you keep the minions in line, right? You throw them little...
Bribery.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Tried and true strategy, actually.
Speaking of bribery and keeping minions in line, we have a audio quote here from someone who wants to wish us a congratulations.
Oh, well, here we go.
Critical Encounters, congratulations on reaching 200 episodes. As the great Apocalypse said, only the strong survive. By making it this far, you have demonstrated your worthiness.
Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you so much. Oh, wow. Well, fellas, it's been a fun 200.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's been an awesome 200. I guess since the 200 show was 2 episodes long, the 300 will be 3 episodes long. So
I believe we've now created a thing. Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And this is why we pardon turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Well, I think that's a wrap, boys. I think that's a wrap. Mike, how do the folks do stuff?
Yeah, listeners, fine listeners. I can't believe you guys tune into us every week. This is fantastic. We are over the moon. It's been a great 200 episodes of goofing around, and we're just happy to be able to share it with you and converse with you on social media, Discord, whatever. Please, if you want to give us a shout, you can email us criticalencounterspod@gmail.com. We're Critical Encounters on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube or Patreon by searching for Critical Encounters Podcast. And on Discord, we are Vardane, Big Foam Loaf, and Wandering Took. And if you search around all the dark corners, you might find the truth there too. If you like our show, tell your friends. If you don't like our show, tell your enemies. Loyal minions, take us out.
Cut off 1 head, and 2 more will take its place.
Hydra?
Craig.
Damn it. I'm 0.
Craig. I'm at 1 second and lost. Lord. All right. That's just a preview of what's going to happen in your evil game tonight, Steve.
You can cut that out.
Okay.
And if you guys are hearing this, he didn't cut that out.
No.
So I can launch into my last one here. I severely underestimated how long this would take. So I feel bad that you have to now cut this down and figure it out.
Villains like to monologue.
Did you realize how good of an actor Mike is?
He's amazing.
He says mutagen is like, really? Having just seen the survey results. That's good.
Are you kidding me? I love it, Mike. That was great.
Wow.
I honestly didn't think
he's
I
a
was
villain.
going to get it. I didn't think I would get it.
This is what villainy looks like in Canada, everybody. So I'm about to make a video of Elsa burning a Dorito.
Sweet. Yeah, they're
Apparently
good fire
that's-
starters.
Apparently that's a thing.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, they're very flammable. They'll burn, like if you're stuck in the woods and you have a bag of Doritos and you start a campfire, bam, use a Dorito as your fire starter. Cheetos
Really?
work okay too, yeah. It's all the oil and stuff in them.
Maybe we shouldn't be eating that stuff.
Oh, we definitely shouldn't be.
Ricker here. I just wanted to say thanks for you guys giving a place for goons like us to tell our story. For 200 episodes, congratulations. And by the way, I heard what Thunderball said. He's not part of the Illuminati. He sounds like he's recording in the break room at that 7-Eleven he still works at.
Hey, Critical Encounters, this is Pile Driver, and I thought there is no better way to congratulate you on 200 episodes than using my giant hands to clap for you. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You do this
8,
for 5 minutes?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
ridiculous.
16, 17, 18.
Is this for
19,
real?
For real.
20, 21, 22, 23,
for real.
24, 25, 26, 27.
This is why the
28,
absolutely last people can turn it off.
29,
Yeah.
30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46,
Oh my god.
47, 48, 49, 50,
Language.
51, 52, 53,
52,
54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59,
ridiculous,
60, 61, 62, 63.
I hope he had to do multiple takes.
64,
Right, Lindy.
65,
Forget where he was.
66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73,
Chad bit too, I love it.
74,
It's very
75,
Chad.
76, 77, 78, 79,
Wow.
80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85,
And the fact that he doesn't speed up
86,
is astounding.
87,
No, just
88,
very monotone the whole time.
89, 90, 91, 92,
He's not even halfway through.
93,
I'm
94,
gonna loop this and go to
95,
sleep to it.
96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114,
I just can't believe this.
115, 116,
This is one of the greatest things ever.
117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139, 140, 141, 142, 143, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153, 154, 155, 156.
It's actually slowed down.
I know,
158,
I think he's
159.
really concentrating on the numbers.
161. 162.
This pile driver.
163. 164. 165. 166.
Well, now we know why you had to leave Forever to the Rings. It's because he had to record this.
169. 170. 171. 172. 173. 174. 175.
Almost there.
176. 177. 178. 179. 180. 181. 182. 183. 184. 185. 186. 187. 188. 189. 190. 191. 192. 193. 194. 195. 196. 197. 198. 199. 200. Congratulations, guys.
Wow.
Love it.
Thanks, pile driver.
Wow. Wow.
Thanks, folks. Good night.